ball. Remember, no rushing.
Modern Warfare 2 is so big that
how big is it?
That even my therapist had heard of it. Like,
way to start the podcast, Henry. Week of Modern Warfare. I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Michael Raparos.
I am Brett Elston.
I'm Henry Gilbert.
This is TalkRadar 77.
Modern Warfare 2. Who's got a copy?
Oh, I think all of us.
Who's played it?
Not me.
I finished it last night.
I almost finished it. I only backed out because I didn't want to finish it.
I started at 10, and I just could. I was like, well, I'll just play through a level, make sure my copy works and everything. And it's like 4 a.m. The credits are rolling. Like, what the fuck just happened?
I know, but it's I don't know. To its credit, it's very intense. I love. Did you see a bunch of people jumping out of the woodwork to play Modern Warfare 2? My Xbox friends list was like 50 people on. All of the Modern Warfare 2 except for guess who?
I saw Fran from OXM playing Borderlands.
Is that was that the October?
Yeah.
No. Close. Anybody else want to guess? Close to Fran.
Close to Fran. Dan Amrich.
Dan Amrich.
Was he playing Lego Rock Band?
He was playing Pinball's Greatest Hits on the Dan Amrich.
Wow.
Love the man.
You should have played one of the pinball
hilarious
sound effects he gave me.
Oh, I don't.
The
I never had those. Wasn't here for that, man.
Oh, well.
Later in the show, we're going to tell you we're going to give away League of Legends from Riot Games.
Whoa.
PC. Yeah, 5 copies.
We're going to start a riot up in here.
Hey, man. It's no longer the sports cast. And then we're going to celebrate the anniversary of something every one of you are familiar with. Got some news to make you angry, new releases, game deals.
Oh, what a
Question of the week. Yes. But what do we always do every week on GamesRadar.com? Every Monday.
I think we usually start with crying and then work our way to the top 7.
I have a nice Sunday cry. Speaking of crying, that's a good transition. What's this week's top 7?
Why, it's the top 7 tasteful video game heroines. Yeah.
Oh, when does that button going to go away?
It's at your command.
Yeah.
Written by your own. What's this?
Brottleson.
It was written by Brott Alston.
I can't read letters.
Brott Alston.
Brett Alston.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Tasteful heroines. What brought tasty heroine to your mind?
Just one of our feature meetings. It's one of those things. It's just one of those things where we start talking about one thing, and then that leads to somebody say, "Well, you know what also happened? This happened," and then that leads to. You just mentioned two female characters who happen to be not tits.
It's one of the most obvious things to base a feature off of that no one really ever bothers to do. And like I see in comments at the bottom of top 20 mediocre game babes. Right. That's one of mine.
Yeah.
Why not do the top 7 like realistic games? Here you are.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And the distinction here is people like Lara Croft, who is not. Yeah, she's the star and she's in charge and she's the one doing.
She's gotten a little more realistic.
That picture is from the last game, and those shorts, a 5-year-old couldn't fit in those.
I know, it's just the physical depiction, though. I think.
Is that from Underworld? I thought that was from 2 games ago.
No, it's from. Well,
let's have this argument later.
Her model didn't change from Underworld.
Let's do this later.
No, she's still ridiculous.
I've actually forgotten the name of the game before Anniversary.
Legend. Number 7 on the list.
Number 7 on the list.
Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, which. I mean, I started with this list of there were probably 12 depictions of girls that are both capable and usually the lead in the game, and also dressed like they're normal people. Like, again, Rachel from Ninja Gaiden just looks like a junior high designer girl contest of, well, I think she should have big tits and blonde hair and walk in high heels and swing an axe.
You
Big
wouldn't,
tits and taste like French vanilla ice cream?
you wouldn't
Yeah.
normally see somebody like this walking down the street unless you're like at the Folsom Street Fair and it was
Yeah,
a tranny.
That's how she dresses for working at the FBI. It's
Oh,
just
wow,
standard.
okay then.
Whereas Jade, I mean,
She's expected to comport herself professionally.
yeah. And
Yeah.
well, Jade is photojournalist. She is kind of unbelievable in the sense that, oh, by the way, I'm also an expert martial artist and have also had time to perfect my photojournalism skills. And it's like, normally people are good at one of these things.
And doesn't she care for orphans or something?
She lives in an orphanage and cares for chillins.
Yeah.
You
And-
are weird.
A completely likable protagonist.
Yeah, and she's also, it turns out to be like a empty vessel through which ancient spirits fly through and save the end of the game in a giant bullshit twist. Who played the game?
I did not play as far as
I-
you just spoke of.
I haven't
So-
played it ever.
Ah.
I watched the YouTube video.
Okay.
I played it halfway through and watched a friend beat it.
Ooh, Michael.
I finished it.
I
What do you
won
have
it
to
in
say
a box of cereal.
That's true.
What do you have to say about Jade or Beyond Good and Evil?
She was a pretty good character, but I mean, I last played it when it came out, so
Right.
my memories are a bit fuzzy.
Right.
I think I remember the music from the Mamago Garage more clear than I remember her characterization, but that's just me.
Well, she was supposedly getting another shot at stardom, and who knows when that's happening.
Number 6.
Numbers. Wait, hold on. I got a little clip of Jade. Little clip of Jade.
I have never known a time when my world was not at war. I suspect conspiracy. The government thinks I'm a threat. They're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, she's teaching it.
They were right.
It's funny that I remember that came out like right as we were going to our very just war with Iran.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was right around my birthday.
That
then.
was topical.
Oh, it was March of 03. And that's why Majesco doesn't make games anymore.
that will.
That was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
You're thinking of.
I'm thinking of
Advent-
Psychonauts.
yeah,
I'm
Advent
thinking of
Rising.
Psychonauts and Advent Rising.
That was a
Guns
Majesco
Unleashed.
game?
Yeah.
Wow. No idea.
I'm getting my bombs confused. Number
Let's move
6.
on.
Number
How come
6.
you didn't add this female?
Time to get moving.
All she did was say time to get moving, and I hope this works.
Good job. No, it was that.
Did she say good job?
That's right.
Oh, well, then she clearly deserves it.
Wow,
Illusion.
Glass Core, bringing it back. Number 6 is Aya Brea.
Whose name I just realized is an anagram for Bay Area.
Wow.
Yay!
Wow, genuine
Good for-
class.
Can
Shout
I-
out
can
from
I-
Square Enix.
Yeah, there. You deserve that.
Bay Area. From Parasite Eve, which I didn't realize started as a book.
Didn't realize any. I don't know anything about
I
Parasite
actually didn't
Eve
know
games.
anything about, but Carolyn actually recommended Aya, and I was like, I'll check it out. And then I look, and a lot of the character art is, I mean, and in the game, the first one, she's just in baggy jeans and a shirt, and she's a kick-ass detective cop who don't take no shit, and then gains power
Does she
over.
play by her own special brand of justice?
She does, but mainly because she develops powers to control mitochondria.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and genes,
And also, monsters aren't protected under the Constitution.
Okay.
right. No, they're not citizens. They're more like 2/17 of a vote.
But don't I remember that
You
she
don't.
does? I thought I did. That she has a shower scene in that.
I was
She has
just.
a-
I
she-
went.
No, hey, whoa.
I went looking for this because I wasn't. You weren't around. I needed to find. Does she have audio? First of all, I don't think she talks
Maybe not.
ever. And then second, the first 4 YouTube links are the fucking shower scene.
Yeah, that's from 2.
Yeah.
That's from Parasite Eve 2. One,
Thank you for clearing that up.
she kind of. One, she's in a dress, but most of the game, she's just in these cop clothes and just kind of doing the job. And then even when she gains these crazy powers, she's still portrayed as her being a girl is not like the crux of the gameplay. Like she doesn't have a huge rack, and it's not a bunch of upskirt shots and shit. It's just you just so happen to be playing as a female lead, and it doesn't really.
Isn't
You don't
that
have to manage her emotions in order
Yeah.
to
as
save
much as
Mario.
we get crap for exploiting babage?
Baby.
What does that say about gamers? Like the sample data is right there for you. What
Yeah.
did people care? What did people take away from Parasite Eve after this respectable, dignified protagonist.
Yeah, shower
scene.
Yeah, shower
Over
scene.
it. Not even a good. It's an animated shower scene
It's a
with
pretty
no
w-
nipple,
It's a pretty
no
weak
butt.
shower scene. Well, yeah,
1998 level CG.
Yeah.
it's the same level of shower as if you know your Tekken endings. I think Anna Williams has a.
Has more views than my last feature. Just saying. I have reason to be mad.
Yeah.
But then, in some of these issues or some of these entries, I have the inevitable objectification entry, and it's true that even though Square did kind of make a pretty strong case for this character, who I liken to, if anyone watches Fringe, she's very much like Olivia Dunham, who's the main character of Fringe. Blonde hair, works at the FBI, always ends up fighting supernatural monsters, and it just, I don't know, there's a lot of parallels there. But a lot of the official art, despite her having baggy jeans, cop coat on, and looking tough, and like, don't fuck with me, then there's a shot of her like, with her tits hanging out and no pants and like kind of looking sad at the camera, like, I wish someone would fuck me. I really wish. And then the other shot is, I'm gonna put my armor back behind my head. The shirt's a little too small. So.
Man, I sure hope some like slightly overweight, pasty gamer nerd is nearby so we can
I want
engage in
someone who
vigorous
smells like
intercourse.
both kinds of balls, the testicles and the energy drink. Oh,
and then
please.
in the second
Just a
game,
little bit of ham.
No.
you get
Some ham rub
Yeah.
in the hair for good measure.
Get your ham smell all over me.
and in the second game she ends up in a mini skirt and a machine gun, and
And it sold billions.
it kind of goes downhill. Well, they're just now making the third one like 9
I
years
did
later. so-
notice that it was a depressing common thread with a lot of the babage
Right.
on this list, is that a lot of these were critically well received,
Yeah.
maybe got a second one and just kind of fizzled.
Yeah, a lot of. I didn't put that together, but you're kind of
And-
right.
Yeah, almost for not being sexy. It's like after looking at this, I get Ivy now. I get it.
God, Ivy's ridiculous.
Ivy's stupid.
It's
If you
way-
want to have sex with that, kill yourself. Kill yourself. 'Cause oh man, those kind of breasts. How would you?
What would you do?
What would you do? What if
can't-
she got on top of you? You're dead. Boom. Instant tit kill.
You can't motorboat that.
Instant tit kill. You're suffocated. You're
Yeah.
dead. Your skull is crushed.
Well, they look like they're hard as rocks. It's just like banging your head against a table.
Yeah.
This is hot. Number 5.
Number 5.
Faith from Mirror's Edge.
Faith from Mirror's Edge. And I played the clip of Jade's video.
Right.
A little boring, but only because I looked up. That was a commercial.
Okay.
I looked up the Mirror's Edge commercial.
I'm way interested.
They wiped away all the grittiness and humanity that the city ever
Uh-oh.
had.
I know where this is
I'm going to show
going.
them that they missed us.
Oh, really? It just was
It's like
presented
this-
with exactly the same.
Yeah, it's
like,
exactly the same. Like this city.
and she's
doesn't
kind of
know.
the same character.
It kind of is a little, except there's no aliens in Mirror's Edge.
Oh man, that's all the difference.
It's true. There's just
Makes all the difference.
corrupt professional wrestlers.
You don't know what's
Old pigs with fart tooth.
What's his name? Boneham? Bone?
Oh, that
Something
guy,
like
yeah.
Mm.
Rick?
That was a little
Ripcord?
silly.
Is his name?
Bonecock.
I think his name is Congressman Handsome.
Johnny Ridgeback from last week. God, that made me laugh.
Ridgeback.
In the top 7 sports game.
That's
Things-
the name of my favorite dildo.
Johnny
Little
Ridgeback.
trivia.
But yeah, Faith, I mean, if you played Mirror's Edge or even looked at the art or whatever, they designed her very sensibly. She's just got white runner pants, those two-toed shoes.
He
and-
kind of looks like somebody who spends a lot of her time parkouring across rooftops.
Yeah. There was that little bit of snafu where it wasn't even a snafu. It's just somebody in some forum posted, "Well, here's what Asians think she should look like as
Yeah.
Asians," and they gave her bigger boobs and slantier, bigger eyes.
Well, it was like this whole weird thing where it was like there were racist undertones to the fact that they made her like, into what Europeans find appealing about Asian women, and here's what Asians would find appealing.
Right.
It's like they should have made her sexier.
Yeah, and it's like, what was not sexy about her?
Yeah.
That adding bigger boobs and making her
Jade
eyes
and Faith
big-
in particular, I really fucking like. If I could be attracted to a game character,
You can.
yeah.
I'll
If
let
I
you.
want to meet somebody, I'd want to meet Jade and Faith.
There you go.
Well, they don't look like the insane, overpronounced thing that 12-year-olds think that they want when
Yes.
they masturbate.
Do you
Yes.
realize how much that's going to ruin your appetite for regular women when you grow up? I hope they know this.
Yeah.
It really messed me up.
As stupid as that a forced-ass, cliched-ass story that is Mirror's Edge, like, her in the game, you can tell she's not weak, she's not dependent on somebody, she's not anything, but she still looks good, she's a mix of both of them. She's fit, she's tough, she's hot, and she's also...
This is also something I'm taking away. She's not... Almost every game, especially with males, it's probably a male fantasy, you're the one. You're the chosen.
Oh, right.
She's just a courier, and just happens to be good at that.
I wish you spent more of the game currying packages and not
Aside from
saving
one.
your sister.
Saving your sister, trying finding your ex-boyfriend and chasing after him, and then finding out that he's secretly involved in the Icarus project.
Oh, God.
Jesus, did you memorize this? Spoilers.
Yeah.
$19 spoilers.
12 months ago spoilers. Number 4.
Number 4.
This is a late entry suggested, I believe, by Charlie Barrett. I'm not sure.
No way. A PC entry?
Yeah, no. It was also on PS2. Kate Archer from No One Lives Forever.
I've kicked your ass before. I can do it again.
Yeah.
Love that line.
She's basically girl James Bond. And just gets to go around shooting big guns, riding snowmobiles, traveling the world, kicking ass, and is also, like Bond, dresses up in really fancy clothes and just kicks a lot of ass. But it's also it's the Austin Powers equivalent of games where it's poking fun at super spies, at James Bond, but also at FPS genre in general. Like, I don't know. It's a series I'm really sad has just disappeared and it's been replaced by Fear.
Part of that is is very well written. This just heard described like in the intro.
I'm sick of wiretaps. I'm sick of eavesdropping on boring strangers who may or may not pose some trivial threat to international security because they forgot to declare a ham sandwich at Heathrow.
Is she in a meteor shower?
It's just the music.
What is that noise?
It was the early aughts.
Oh, yeah, it was
so?
like 01 or something like that.
01? Who developed this game? I know Michael remembers.
I don't remember.
It was developed by Monolith.
Monolith.
Oh,
it's Monolith.
That's why when you said Fear,
Yeah, they've they went down to do Condemned, which I loved.
They do Black and White? Is that them?
They did No One Lives Forever too,
Oh.
and Fear, which is, I guess become their focus.
Here.
No,
All of this has like a crazy tie in it, and all folds in on itself. Everything is related in this top 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. But
Okay. Another thing that No One Lives Forever did very well was the dialogue, which you play a little bit of already.
very well written game.
It's a very well written game at a time when that wasn't definitely not known on consoles. More so on PC. It was not as big a shock to see a well written game on a PC, but. For an FPS to take the time and stop and be a little cheeky and fun, and then also have, in this case, what you're about to play is just NPC dialogue, which we have fun with now in console games, but it's like this was 7, 8, 9 years ago, and this is just a dude, if you just stop, he'll go through this whole spiel about beer.
I think you're supposed to kill them. You just
Yeah.
you just don't. Just wait. And this is what somebody took the time to write, hire somebody to say, record, and put in a game.
What's in all those kegs anyway? Beer. We supply Harm's entire staff with the finest Deutsch brews. Really? That must be a lot of beer. Indeed. Our studies show that criminals drink 3 times as much alcohol as law-abiding citizens. So beer turns people into criminals? A correlation doesn't imply causality. Just because criminals drink a lot of beer doesn't mean that beer causes crime. It's possible that people with criminal tendencies enjoy beer because it helps to soothe their conscience. Or perhaps criminal behavior is caused in part by a genetic predisposition that also, coincidentally, makes criminals like the taste of beer more than
Everybody's giggling. Everybody's giggling. I want to put our hands in. You want to hear the rest of this thing?
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody, hands in. One,
two,
3.
Oh! The rest of it.
You're very knowledgeable about these things. Criminal sociology is a hobby of mine. I think it's important to understand not just the individual psychological roots of one's behavior, but also the social circumstances that foster that behavior. Whether we like it or not, we are shaped by our environment.
Wow, Chris is using
Surely
this
you're not suggesting that
as an
individuals
excuse to
aren't
leave and go get a
accountable
beer.
for their actions.
How
Oh, no, of
appropriate.
course not. Just because we are products of the societies we're born into doesn't
I wonder if that's
absolve
correlation
us
or
of personal
causality.
responsibility.
Let's ask him. I can hear
Our
beer bottles
religions and
crackling
laws teach us
around in
what is
here.
right and what is wrong. Frequently, the right choice is the more difficult path to take.
Wow, he's still
It
going.
requires sacrifice, self-discipline, patience, virtues that many of us find somewhat lacking in our nature.
I just love this. That this is.
What if you're
You
born
could have shot
into a
this guy
hedonistic
minutes ago.
culture? Look across history. The reason hedonism is discouraged by most religions and governments is that it weakens a civilization. It breeds
All right,
sloth,
Chris, turn it off.
petulance, degeneracy, and
I'll skip to the
A
end.
divided nation is a fragile debate. Well, admitting you have a problem is the first step, I suppose. I
God.
like to think so. Who's there?
By the way, I skipped a 1 minute of that.
Yeah, that's taken off of a YouTube video. Also, I still haven't played this game.
No.
I think I would actually feel
course it
bad
was.
about shooting that guy at that point.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm aware of the consequences. I too am a product of my environment.
And I'm sure that there's other examples of that, but that's the one I found
For Kate Archers
on the internet.
on the interwebs. But I'll never forget this because it's fun. And there's a lot of funny, like good voice work, and I swear to God I don't see that very often.
I've kicked your ass before. I can do it again.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh.
That takes us to number 3, which is Zoe from Left 4 Dead.
Zoe, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Hey, she's ready. Zoe, really easy to find dialogue of her.
Yeah, I'm reviewing Left 4 Dead 2 now, and like every 3 minutes, I'm like, God, I wish I recorded that. I wish I recorded that. Like everything Ellis says is hilarious and just true redneck, and everything like him naming everything and calling just the names he comes up with. Shit, he's a hoot. Zoe though, what a regular old lady.
She's cute. She's super hot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's hot in the. It's weird because she's hot because she looks completely normal.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to find her attractive because she does not like supermodel looks or a super spy. She's not even like a specifically good soldier or trained anything. She's just, I happen
According
to survive
to her
I
this.
believe
bio-
they call that a girl next door thing.
Yes,
In her
they
bio,
do.
Zoe is a college student, a horror movie aficionado, and the daughter of a very wealthy family.
Yeah.
Did you know Zoe's face was initially modeled after Alicia Glidewell?
No.
Glidewell, the same person who is modeled after Chell,
Oh, yeah.
the same Chell model.
Well, that would
They
follow.
changed her. And a bunch of cool stuff Valve has available.
We also recorded some audio of Valve's own commentary in the Left 4 Dead. If you can play the whole game with commentary on, and they actually talk about the design of Zoe.
The process behind designing Zoe's character wasn't as straightforward as the other 3. Developing a young female in a zombie apocalypse isn't easy with a backstory like hers. She had to be attractive and worn down at the same time. She needed to be tough and able to hold her own, even though she's occasionally terrified. Her readability was also something we had to take into consideration. A bright red jacket solved the problem. It pops out amongst the gritty, desaturated zombies and
So
the
many
dark,
details.
subdued environment. As far as the rest of her appearance, there was a little bit of back and forth as her character came into focus through iteration. Finally, we were certain that the character model met our goals, and Zoe unfolded into an everyday young woman who everyone can relate to.
Aww.
Even horny 14-year-olds.
Well, for them, there's the topless and naked.
Yeah, there's all the patches, which we'll get to in a second.
Hey, we're just
sorry.
saying that about how we wish more developers did this.
Yeah,
the commentary. It's not a running commentary. You have to
No.
go up and like tap icons where things are happening.
Yeah,
And
the enemies ignore you, and you get to run through the game and
Yeah.
just like. Almost every game I play, I would probably do that.
as you're playing, like they'll tell you about how they motion cap the zombies. So they got stuntmen, and so like everything will kind of stop, and the zombies will just keep going.
Yeah.
There'll be like 6 of them who continue all their animations.
Yeah.
Within the game. And
Or
it's-
then it'll stop and be like, now look at this building. We designed this building specifically to subconsciously push you in this direction.
Yeah.
You're like, you fuckers are brilliant.
they make it seem really easy by
Yeah.
just, I don't know, just thinking of every detail.
Yeah.
But all of them, it seems so simple in hindsight.
Well, that's the beauty of like Half-Life levels too, of just how they look normal, but you somehow just looking at them know where you need to
Yeah.
walk to next or what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll tell you all of that. And I do want to say, or did you want to move on?
No, real quick.
Go for it.
One thing, the final thing I like about Zoe a lot is when you're running around and like whenever you die or whenever you're like waiting to spawn in a closet or something like that, you can watch other people play and move the camera around and kind of see everyone. You can watch Zoe if, like, say you were playing as Bill or Francis or Lewis and got killed. You can watch the character playing Zoe and spin the camera, and you can watch her face like change from like being confident and like shooting to just like her face will actually just react to what's happening, and it's just a good back and forth of like most of the guys don't look too disturbed. They'll get surprised look and they'll just be shooting the fuck out of everything, but then Zoe will just look absolutely mortified but then keeps shooting because she knows it just conveys like she knows she has to survive. And it's a lot of personality without her actually doing anything. No, it's really Amazing job.
In terms of what the work Valve puts into this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I dug up was like a snippet of all of the dialogue.
Oh, of Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, of all of Zoe's dialogue.
Let's go, let's go!
Like, yay, got stuff like that. But then, like, this is just a clip of how many times she says one thing.
Back, back, back! Back, back! Move back! Back it up! Back, back! Back up! Move back! Get back! Back up! Move back! Back up! Move back! Get back! Get back!
That's cool.
And we will isolate this. Anybody who wants to use it in any remixes or to soothe thy manly
you put
urges.
a beat behind that. That's
You're making everyone comfortable.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yay.
A fart was in
All right, we'll move on.
This is going to hell real fast!
Yeah, you said it, Zoe.
I know that one.
Mm.
Oh, number 2, sticking with Valve, is Alex Vance.
Alex Vance.
Normally would have probably been number 1 because she's kind of the goat.
Wow!
Pardon me, lady.
Sorry.
She's kind of the just having never really played much Half-Life. I tried to play Half-Life 2 and found it incredibly boring, and I know I'm in the minority, but the problem is I played it too late. I played it in Orange Box in 2007, so I had just gone through Modern Warfare, the first like Call of Duty 4, and then was like, I'm going to play Half-Life 2. Oh my god, get to the point. Like it just wasn't, I was not in the mindset to play that. But in the little bit I did play, and then obviously just reading other articles and YouTube videos and people in here who played it, I'll agree that Valve again spent a lot of time making her appear as much of a person and not just some AI controlled, I'll get the key for you, oh stop shooting me, I'm invincible, like that kind of stuff. I don't know. Please, someone who's played
in terms of what Valve does, it's you generally live the story instead of being told and sitting back and watching it.
Right, yeah.
And she's just she's an interesting game narrative device. She pushes you in the right direction. She is your tutorial. She's your guide.
Yeah.
She'll tell you when you're doing well.
They made
Jesus, Gordon, you're a real terror.
I was reading an interview with him, with some of the developers of Half-Life 2 and the episodes 1 and 2, and they were talking that Valve they were considering the code like personality code instead of AI code. The idea that she doesn't repeat, like in most games, like Elika from Prince of Persia, who was in the comments, you should have put her. All she does is get saved. I don't think she's particularly good in.
She also gets thrown around in fights.
Yeah.
Alex puts herself in danger every day.
Yes.
To make sure her man is okay. That's commendable.
Yes.
Well, I didn't like
Damn,
that
it
was
supposed
something.
to give you more irate.
Well, yeah, no, that was something kind of I was a little disappointed in at the end. By the end of Half-Life 2, like she seems to be getting interested in Gordon, like as a love interest kind of thing, instead of just them being two people who work together. You know, that I was just a little disappointed they had to try to put in like some love angle into the game.
I can see it from the angle of, well, they're two people who share this traumatic experience and go through it, and that's what happens. That would lead to that. But I don't know how much
both have worked for Rafiki.
I don't know how much the age difference actually is.
Rafiki's her dad.
I don't know, but also the big thing was that she doesn't like other AI partners. She doesn't repeat the same actions over and over, and the same thing with Left 4 Dead. They don't repeat a lot of the same dialogue. There's shit tons of like you just played tiny variations.
Was it episode? Did anybody play episode 1?
No.
Half-Life 2 episode 1. She kind of would overstate what was happening, and I heard that was toned down in 2, but I couldn't get. She was part of the problem in episode 1.
I don't.
Not to say she's not a strong female character. She just was kind of annoying.
And again, that she looks completely normal. She's just, I have regular clothes. I'm smart. I'm a regular
Hey guys,
fucking
guess
person.
what? Denim. Eat it.
And then the nude patches, and basically ruined all of that. And not just nude patches, like
We have one on our site, so
yeah. Let's use let's use Gary's mod to spawn 100 naked Alexes and line them up in a row and have them all say dialogue.
Was that the Alexes in a panic room?
I don't know what it
I
was.
thought Tyler did something with that.
It was something like
This
that.
is my impression of everything Alex has ever done.
Think it's dead? Maybe you should whack it with a crowbar just in case.
Thanks, Alex.
See, I hear that and I'm like, I want to play this game and know more about her, but then playing Half-Life, I'm so bored.
You're just a little late, and you're wrong. I don't know. You're wrong. You got to get out of that.
Yeah. You can't be wrong about these things.
It's not that you're wrong. It's just that, like, come on, man. You're a professional. Get in there. See what people are talking about. If I reviewed films and I never watched Citizen Kane, not gonna.
You don't have
Never.
to like everything.
Huh?
You don't have to like every film everyone.
I don't think you ever had to like it, but you have to play through it.
It doesn't take 10 hours to watch Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I can
There's
watch
a little
every
bit of a
movie in
difference.
2 hours. To beat Half-Life, I got to do days of playing. I don't
Really,
have time
though,
to.
you should watch Citizen Kane 5 times.
I don't know. I just never found
Do
it.
it for 10
It's not grating to play ever. Like,
I thought
it's
it was.
usually pretty rewarding.
I thought it was really boring. Like, it was distractingly boring.
I played it once when it came out, once when Orange Box came out.
My only problem with it when it came out, and I was disappointed to see that carried over into Orange Box, was like every couple minutes it has to stop to load, and that totally.
You played on PS3.
I played it on 360,
Okay.
and before that I played it on PC when it came out, and it just completely broke the immersion. It's like I'd be like in the middle of a really intense action scene, and be like, "Yes, the music's building. This is really badass," and then it just stops, and a little bar appears on screen. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
The bar wasn't. And it wasn't slow, but you're right. It did pop up a lot.
I just thought it was because I had crappy hardware, and so I'm like, okay, I'm excited. I'll play it on Orange Box on the 360. It's meant for this hardware, and then it's within 5 minutes the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
that
so
turned me
disappointing.
off as well. Just the fact that I'm waiting so much, but
I mean,
it's a game I
Half-Life
want,
is like an unbroken moment usually.
except for all those loading screens.
Yeah.
That's why the
That's what I'm saying.
sucks,
But it's
yeah.
just like, but no other really
And
game
there's-
bothers to present itself. You get to the end of something, the screen fades, and there's a
Right.
fucking a stupid cutscene. I'm playing Call of Duty, totally bored by that. Almost took me out of the game. Like, I don't care. Repeat intel, blah blah blah, UAVs, abbreviations,
right.
flying left and right. Who gives a shit? Put me back in the game.
Yeah, but at least it does that after a reasonable stopping point, where like you play through the full action set piece, and then things calm
Why?
down, and then you get the cutscene, and then they ramp up again. It's not
Why
in
am I
the middle
defending
of
Half-Life?
action.
Why am I defending Half-Life?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We should.
I do want to
But
finish it.
Just the fact that they made it for Xbox, it should have the 360 and the PS3 should have easily been able to handle it, and
Yeah.
it still had the same stupid loading problems. It's kind of unforgivable. It's still a good game, I'm sure, but
I'm
it
sure.
kind of pissed me off.
It's a game I definitely that's high on my list of things to finish regardless.
You should.
Because I'll beat some shitty games. I'd be buying a Commando. Like I'll beat any game I don't like just to prove a point that I'll know what I'm talking about. But
Half-Life's
I played
a little important.
I played like 4 hours and I'm like, this is really anyway.
It's important. You
Let's
should do
go
it.
to number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Was really hoping for a Metroid sound effect.
I don't have one.
How you gave it away.
Samus Aran from Metroid.
Samus Aran.
And
was
Did we not say Aran?
no, it can be either. I don't care.
Okay. I thought. Well, you usually are not a man who allows people to refer to things as to.
I just noticed in this striptease sequence, her hair is like two different
Oh
colors.
yeah, her hair is green in the NES sprite,
and her skin, for that matter.
Yeah, it's because it's dictated by what else was on the screen at the time because there are only so many colors of the NES.
No, I got voice. Even I don't think of Samus as talking all that much.
Not much, no.
And
Is that
Nintendo.
all? Be still. Try me.
What game is that from?
Smash Brothers.
Oh, right.
But it's not the voice in Prime. In this,
No.
who is the new voice? Alicia Glidewell, the model
Really?
for Chell and Zoe
For which game?
for the Smash Brothers.
Oh wow, that is
Samus.
weird.
And when that wasn't happening in Prime, it's what's her name? Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale, yeah.
Who's the voice of everybody else
Every
in the video
girl,
game world.
She's Cortana. She's the female shepherd in Mass Effect. She's a lot. Jennifer.
A lot.
I think she's Princess Peach as well.
Yeah.
Alicia Glide was also Crystal from Star Fox, so another thing to
Jesus
fixate
Christ.
over.
Oh god. But yeah, Samus. I'm mainly here because she's been around for I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but like 23 years or something like that, 1985 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong, but am I? Can anyone else think of a video game heroine that predates her that mattered or wasn't a block on a
No,
screen?
not really.
And that it was hidden. It was you're just a metal spaceman in a suit kicking ass and shooting aliens, and then you beat the game. I was a girl.
You know what?
And as an 8-year-old, I'm like, ooh, gross.
Is it when you finish the game, it shows you're a girl?
Under certain circumstances, yes. You could. There were also passwords that you could put in, and you would play.
What I'm talking about. Is it not some unlockable thing like?
You could put in a password. At the time, it was Justin Bailey.
Yeah, I remember.
And you put in the password, and it's Samus without her armor, and she's in a one-piece, basically, bathing suit or space suit kind of thing. With her legs are bare. She has green hair because of the NES's horrible palette. And then when you beat the game with the maximum things, all items, and under a certain time, she's in a tiny, tiny bikini. And
knowing
hey,
what I
I'm
know,
a girl. Did you notice?
Knowing what I know about Nintendo,
yes,
heaping this kind of praise, which I'd like to, but I think she is absolutely the strongest female character in games.
Right.
I do not believe they ever had any intention of doing that.
How do you mean?
I can't really. Can you see that? What are Nintendo's other female characters?
Well, had any intention of doing what?
Having Samus as I'm not sure if they started out Metroid
with her being a
woman being a woman in that suit in mind.
It was probably just like we need like a big reveal at the end.
Kind of.
What are we gonna? Okay, make her a woman.
Well, I'm sure it was not done as let's make a statement. I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
Hey, let's have a twist. She's a girl.
Well
done. Like that.
And I remember flipping through. A friend of mine had it, and like flipping through his copy of the manual, and it said like, Sam. It referred to Samus as a he, and it's like Samus hides a deep dark secret, and then he'd just written in pencil in really big letters, Samus is a girl.
The dick is a lie.
Well, I also thought it was kind of because like Metroid is very obviously inspired by the Aliens films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a Ridley character.
They made her like just
Sigourney
like Ridley.
Weaver.
Yeah, they made her Sigourney Weaver,
and they named
and
her
she
villain.
wears a bikini, just like
The
Sigourney
main
Weaver.
villain is Ridley.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Come on, could you? Is there another Nintendo character, female
really,
character
no.
that is anyway? Is it anything other than a stereotype?
No, but it's not like Metroid had a game where she wasn't a girl and then she was. She was a girl all along. The first Metroid.
Dude, all right. Other than that, all women in all Nintendo games are princesses.
Yeah, I know.
All of them.
It's like Disney.
And yes, a little bit. So I just thought that was just odd, and it's like everything.
They can have their Mulan.
Everything you say is correct. It's a strong female character, but Charlie brought this up because the backstories we didn't need.
Right.
We don't know shit about Samus. We don't really need to.
We don't know a lot,
and that makes her more interesting.
We know she was raised by bird people.
Yeah, the more they reveal, it gets really stupid.
I didn't know that.
But if you play Metroid Fusion for GBA, it's the only one that has a lot of story and a lot of dialogue where Samus is actually typing in journal entries, and I think it's very cool. It's chronologically the most recent game, but if you have a chance, play Metroid Fusion. It's the same basic kind of gameplay as like your Symphony of the Night Metroid kind of game, but it shakes it up a little bit, and I really wish they would go back and continue that story. And I know people do point out Samus is sexed up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Zero suit.
Obviously, all the endings show her in whatever clothes or lack of clothes, and then when Zero suit, it's a skin-tight blue outfit that's basically naked. Only instead of it being skinned as skin.
That would be a true Zero suit. Am I right or wrong?
But that doesn't change the fact that in the gameplay, in the times you're playing her, she's just for 20 fucking years has been a completely strong character, and never once in the game breaks it to go, I gotta wash my hair.
Real trooper.
I'm afraid.
And at the end, I threw a bone to the four that were gonna be in it. Hannah/Hammer from Fable, who Tyler Nagata, T-Nag, he suggested her. And a lot of people, in the comments jumped in and said, oh, I wish Hammer could have actually had an entry. She was in there until Kate Archer showed up. Jill Valentine, Elena from Uncharted, who, same kind of thing almost as Zoe, where she's just, they designed her to look kind of normal. She has that same trait of just being an invincible AI partner that I kind of find obnoxious. And then Chell from Portal, but barely, because that's really incidental. It doesn't matter at all that that's a girl. It just so happens. I don't know.
That was kind of my statement on Metroid. But anyway.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
That's their taunt.
Who's taunt? Oh, Samus. Gotcha. Hey. And I can't wait to see what Other M does. I just want to see Samus kicking the shit out of everybody.
As a Team Ninja game, I gotta say, they're probably going to sex her up even more.
You shake the Wii remote and somehow breasts grow out of her armor. And
I have a feeling Nintendo will keep their tits in check.
Keep their tits in a row.
Well, also, because
their tits in a row.
Itagaki's gone now, and I think he was the real tit fiend of Team
Really? I was just going to assume it was the Japanese market.
Yeah, because
I don't think
Sigma 2 came out after he left, so...
but they were following his...
Yeah.
Well, Dead or Alive from the beginning has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
breast physics have been part of it since the PS1 game.
As far as I know, he started that. series. Like,
You started it.
Well,
Your
why
mom
don't we
started
just?
it.
Well, let's finish it. When we
Yeah, I'm ready to bounce.
Me too, Zoe. Me too. When we get back, we're going to talk some new releases. I'm going to get the gay out over some stuff that I love. And, maybe a special guest will leave us a message.
oh, that would be great.
This is Kevin Murphy from Riftrex, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
Alka-Seltzer brings you Hilltop House.
Catalina, it's Carl. Come on, let's go. We got banks to rob, baby.
In here, mi amor.
All right, come on, let's go.
You get your sorry ass in here right now, Carl Johnson, or I shove a fucking hand grenade up it.
All right, I'm coming. Oh, my God. What in hell's name is that?
This, you fucking freak? This is a rack. I'm gonna
No,
torture
babe,
your sorry
no,
ass.
please, no.
You never write to me. You don't call. You treat me like a fucking whore. Like one of your whores.
No, baby, please, I ain't into that shit.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh, baby, please, no. Ow.
Yes,
Hey.
faster.
Ooh. Ow.
Harder.
Ow.
Give
Hey.
me. Oh, yes.
Stupid men. Ha ha ha.
The newest entry in the Call of Duty video game series, Modern Warfare 2, is being praised for its ultra-realistic gaming experience. Yet developers are already putting the finishing touches on Modern Warfare 3, which they say will be the most true-to-life military game ever created, with the majority of gameplay spent hauling equipment and filling out paperwork. Onion News Network Tech Trends reporter Jeff Tate has more.
Thanks, Glenn. Whether you're waiting around for orders or cleaning mud off of Humvees, the real-life military action in Modern Warfare 3 never stops. Players take on the role of Private Keyshawn Lewis, a 19-year-old from Clayton, Missouri, who is thrust onto the front lines after the car dealership where he works closes. Gamers will stand guard outside a photorealistic warehouse for hours, dig 10-foot deep holes in the immaculately rendered sand, and sit around complaining about how bad the cell phone reception is.
Man, I get no service out here. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
When you're playing the game, you are a U.S. Army private. So you're going to be doing things like avoiding cleaning the mess hall, waiting for the undershirts your mom said she sent you 3 months ago.
The beta testers I spoke with were impressed with the game's realism.
You have to drive the supply truck from this village to some other village, and then once you get there, they say the order was messed up, so you drive all the way back.
I just got past the mission where you do the photo ops for the Thanksgiving news stories, but now I'm stuck at the part where you have to settle a debate between two soldiers about whether they'd rather have sex with Jessica Biel or Shakira.
No, man, because Shakira's got the moves that Jessica Biel could never have, because she's a trained dancer. You mean if Jessica Biel were standing right there, you wouldn't go for it? Not if Shakira was right there.
I'm at the stage right now where you get homesick and you go out into the desert and just sort of stare at nothing. It's intense.
Modern Warfare 3 also boasts totally authentic gun-blazing action.
I was just standing there and I got shot in the back, and now I guess the game's over.
In the final levels, Keyshawn returns home, and there's even more excitement. Players are approached by waves of people asking how hot it was and how many people they killed.
You have to face down a college student who keeps asking you if it was like Black Hawk Down.
And developers are also creating bonus downloadable missions like Redeployment Germany, where players repair Humvees for 10 hours a day. For the Onion News Network, I'm Jeff Tate.
Thanks, Jeff. Infinity Ward is also developing a version of the game for the Wii, which will come packaged with a 17-pound controller shaped like an M249 machine gun that you must carry at all times, but cannot fire without explicit orders.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're gonna Around the clock we're gonna. Around the clock we're gonna. Around the clock we're gonna.
TalkRadar 77, segment 2. Oh yeah, that masterpiece. We're coming in. Sesame Street.
Oh.
40th anniversary mofos.
True, it is.
I'm going to talk about that later, but I do have a little piece of this.
ABC 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. No.
Counting?
In the clouds away.
According to Moby Games, there are 18 games under the Sesame Street license.
Wow. There's 3 for NES alone, I think.
Those are pre-Elmo days.
Yep. Yes, the NES has a Sesame Street ABC 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, it's not that one. Bam.
No, it's not that song.
Bam. New releases. New releases is almost pointless to bring up.
Kind of. It's close.
It's almost pointless to bring up.
There's only one anyone cares about.
The thing,
and the whole
maybe
world
two,
cares.
But what I thought it was a good lesson in counter programming.
Oh yeah.
If you're going up against Call of Duty,
right,
or Modern Warfare 2, I got to start calling it that. We all do, people. Activision
right. Get
will
used
come
to
after
it,
you.
Hitler.
It has to be something that the people, gamers who can't buy Call of Duty,
right?
This has to appeal to them.
Right.
So what do we got this week? I'll tell you what we got. We got 2 Harvest Moons.
Jesus.
Yep.
2 Harvest Moons.
Oh,
Animal Parade on Wii, Sunshine Islands on DS. Appealing to the opposite.
Carolyn had to review Animal Parade.
Animal Parade.
It looked like every Harvest Moon ever.
So great.
So
speaking
7.
of which, Dragon Ball Z, Raging Blast.
Probably toning that down.
Kamehame!
Oh my God, he's at level 1 million.
This is a great title that I.
Yeah, you're raising its power level.
That's basically my whole concept of the series.
I'll tell you how I did this special move.
With energy.
With power levels.
They got rid of power levels. Let's be fair.
Speaking of worthless
I'll
franchise-
send you to another dimension!
Kakarot, how can you love these people?
Kakarot seems so racist.
Stop
to me.
it! Stop
No,
it!
it's Carrot, because everybody was named after
Right.
it.
Move
How
on.
is that? What is that? Like?
Henry, we
Every
get-
time I go to buy groceries, the fucking Kakarots are all over it.
Yes,
all right.
yes, we-
Moving on, another new release this week. Disney. Jonas.
Oh,
Ooh.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's how important. That's how big they are. They
No.
just
Jonas.
are Jonas.
No,
Jonas,
no
simply
Twister.
Jonas.
No one knows Twister well enough.
No.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
It's a okay Bill Paxton.
Yeah, it's Bill Paxton.
I only can do Bill Paxton from True Lies. I got a little dick. It's pathetic. Right.
Well, and there's anybody can do like Game Over. Like,
Game over, man. Game over.
Bill Paxton is one of the few people
It's
who's
a
been
bug
killed
man.
By
an alien and a predator.
and
Gremlin.
Terminator. Terminator
What
1,
a fucking-
Predator 2, and
what?
Aliens.
Oh, right, he's in Predator 2.
Yeah.
What prestige.
I know.
He needs to get killed by RoboCop.
I could
Isn't
get
that,
killed.
isn't that him in Big Love?
Yeah.
So he can add being almost killed by crazy Mormons. to
Yeah,
his
yeah.
sometimes.
Who knows? Maybe at the
Wait
end of
for
the
the
series.
final
Here's an
episode,
interesting
yeah.
thing. I've seen Frailty.
Oh, that's
Really?
such a
Yes.
great movie.
You're not a demon, are you?
Put on the gloves and find out.
You're not a demon.
It's so weird you've seen a movie.
I know.
Seriously, about 2 people with no superpowers.
Well, there's sort of a superpower involved.
I saw it
Spoilers.
right after I watched SLC Punk.
Really?
Yeah.
Had to be a woman.
No.
What? Were you really depressed?
No.
Was there no power except at the independent movie theater?
No, my friend just told me we should watch this, and he brought it over, and we watched it
And you
together.
just bitch at him like saying like, I don't have to watch any movies. These are probably dumb.
Okay, all right. We got
The fact that you want to watch this means I don't want to.
No. You guys have a distorted worldview.
Yes,
Based
if
on
you're a
your
substitute of the
experience.
world. To finish the counter programming lesson, Fantasy Star Zero for DS,
Gross.
Buzz Quizword, which people are going to buy Buzz regardless of what the fuck else
I'm
comes
sure
out.
not.
Pro Evo Soccer on Wii and DS, which probably
Finally,
isn't a
at last.
competition.
DBZ Attack of the Saiyans also came out on DS.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it's interesting only because it's done like a true like JRPG,
Yeah.
like a Dragon Quest kind of game.
Like a classic RPG,
So-
telling the first 65 episodes of the show.
And
that
I only
Vegeta
meant-
Saiyan Saga.
Can't hear you at all.
I only mention that because Because the GBA Legacy of Goku games were kind of beloved to a certain degree, and because they were decent RPGs.
I can't abide by any more Dragon Ball Z talk.
All right.
This is already too much to edit.
Okay.
Amazon's top 10 video games, 9 out of 10 of them are variations on Call of Duty. Including what hardened and prestige versions on 2 different consoles,
So
PC,
stupid.
the console bundle, and I'm sorry, I never heard of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex on
Yes,
Wii.
for Wii, which I've asked for a copy and still don't have.
It's the Reflex.
The lonely child.
Okay.
So is it going to be like Ninja Reflex,
No,
where
it's
a collection of mini games based on?
It's
Modern Warfare?
it's literally Call of Duty 4 from 2 years ago on Wii with motion controls.
But the number 4 has been taken out of it,
Yes.
and the word reflex has been put in.
It's just Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex.
I would almost rather play the new DS game than that.
Mobilized.
I actually reviewed Duty 4 for DS, and it was boring as fuck.
It only took him 2 years to shove it on the Wii, though. I know our former coworker, Manders, she's playing it right now and is not enjoying it at all.
Yes.
But it's got up to 10-player online multiplayer now. Wait, you're not going to get that
great
on those
idea.
Wii games.
That would be a feat with all those stupid Wii codes.
The only
How
review-
would you even do that?
And the only reviews that I know of are both from official Nintendo magazines. They're like an 8 and a 9, so it's like...
Which are reviewing a bubble of very bad games. But the other release, do you want it? Oh, well, fuck it. We're going to include it this week anyway.
Yeah, we might as well.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
New Mario Wii.
NSMB dub.
NSMBW.
It is Mario time.
It is Mario time. That comes out on Sunday.
What did he say? He says that every time he finishes a level.
Every time he finishes a level.
That's the only time it isn't Mario time.
He doffs his cap.
He says other things like, I'm number 1.
It's been something that's bothered me for years that like Mario has decided to talk all the time.
Yeah, it used to be never talking. Now it's just...
Listen to me, I'm as bad as a Gex.
Which you said of Mario 64, my friend's girlfriend, it convinced me, it didn't even occur to me it was Let's A Go.
Right, Let's
A Go. She's like, it's Let's Pickle. I'm like, so I've always said Let's Pickle?
Yeah, I heard pickle as well.
And Carolyn said, no, look Mexico.
No, in New Mario Wii,
My wife is still convinced it's testicle.
Testicle! Thank you.
Yeah, New
Michael's
Mario
wife
Wii,
wins.
it really
Trump's your
does.
girlfriend.
New Mario Wii does sound like Mexico. Mario 64 sounds like Let's Pickle.
Let's Pickle.
Anyway, the game comes out on Sunday. Tip for usual Nintendo big games do Sundays instead of Tuesdays because they're weird. But
that's the Lord's Day.
It is the Lord's Day.
Godly
It's
country.
Nintendo's Day. We posted our review today. I did on Friday. I'm sure the reviews will start rolling in. There's a few on Metacritic already, but in general, I think all of us here but Michael, me, Chris, and Henry, I beat the game in like 2 days, and then you guys played some of the multiplayer, which is the big focus of this, which is 4 people together running through a Mario game.
I already did it at E3. It was terrible.
Yeah, we already talked about how much we hated it there. And I know, like, as recently as I swear last week, I came on here and said, boy, it sure is a hard game, and it's a regular Mario game, and it's gonna be good, it's gonna be better than you thought. I believe I was misled to a certain degree because they showed me the coolest levels. And then playing the game in its entirety, it's really bland. Like, it lacks...
There's several levels that there's...
So basically, it's what you thought it was going to be after E3.
Well, it's not what I thought it was going to be, which was a multiplayer just mess.
It's
Which
just,
the
some of the
multiplayer
levels, like I was going through them by myself, and I got through first world in 20 minutes. I don't know if that's...
And by world, you mean the entire world 1,
Yeah,
1,
where
2,
I
1, 3.
even the levels I didn't have to pass, I went through anyway.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes, and like they're so sparse, and there's nothing there, and it's kind of clear. Oh, you want this populated by 4 other people.
Yeah, and
so they're supposed to occupy the screens instead of enemies, environments, and items,
and it's
and obstacles.
Yeah, and because of that, the game feels very empty. It feels unimaginative, and it's like the least
very derivative
for a and the reason it was so hard on it is because it's the first 2D Mario game on a console since Mario World, 1991 Super NES launch game. Pack-in.
It's Mario World and Mario 3 are where it's taking its cues from this time.
And there's all kinds of references to Mario 3 and World, but I mentioned this in the review, which is up now. it just spends more time referencing those games. Like, hey, look, it's the Koopalings, and it's Bowser's Kids, and it's the airships, and it's all this stuff you loved, except we're not actually doing anything with these ideas. We're just referencing them. And rather than make new cool levels that people will talk about or remember, it's just, here's some obstacle courses to jump around. If you're playing by yourself, they're kind of boring. And yeah, there are a couple of really hard levels. Some of them are made hard because of shitty motion controls that are kind of shoehorned in there at times. They're not hard because, wow, what a hard Mario level. They're hard because, wow, I don't like the Wii's motion controls.
Yeah, I hate wiggling the controller.
Yeah, most of the game is not like that.
Wait, it's fucking stupid.
It is.
To pick up anything, you have to shake the controller.
Yeah.
It's always been the fucking B button. It always has.
Yeah,
Why would you have to shake the controller?
Really bad. And if you're someone who plays a lot of Mario games, there's just a lot of weird shit. Like, you can't, when you grab something, you can't throw it straight up. You can only throw it left or right. You can't hold items and then bring them down in the middle of the level.
It has to be wiggled.
Like you could in 3 and
I'm really
World.
uncomfortable with that spin fist attack being the new into the Mario stable, the Mario canon, only because the Wii controller needed something that didn't really matter but wouldn't fuck things up.
Right. It's a
But that was the X or
there was a spin
X button in Mario World.
But it broke blocks.
It did
and
stuff.
It got you off of Yoshi.
Yeah, it did things. Whereas this is just, it really has no use except for a momentary hover. If you're jumping in the air, you can do it.
Wow, and is it momentary?
It is momentary, and it's only for...
Will not save you.
It's only for, like... And on one hand, hats off to Nintendo for including it for this, but it's only there, seemingly, for, like, super elite people who are going to do speed runs and learn to, like, if I jump and hover for that one split second, I can cover this, you know, it
will not save you. It will not save you from certain doom.
Yeah. It's an okay game. Like, it's still fun, but it is not exciting. It is not an unmissable... It's not like Galaxy, where you're like, this... Galaxy just
I mean, they're like New Super Mario Brothers, which I thought was astonishing.
Yeah, I liked the DS New Super Mario Brothers from 3 years ago. I thought that was good, and this is the same thing, but on a console you expect more. You're paying $50 for this thing.
And it was 4 years ago.
Well, it was May 06, so it's...
3 years
ago. Well, pretty close.
What I'm hearing here is that we've moved past the point where, well, at least the Nintendo games are really good, and we've gotten to the point where the hardware is actually ruining Nintendo's games.
It's not. Well, in this case,
I just
turn that back.
An observation.
I don't think that's the problem, because you look at Galaxy, and Galaxy is a beautiful game. The graphics are good. Period. Not good for a Wii game. That game looks fantastic.
Yeah.
By any measure, and sounds good. The levels were cool. Tons of ideas there. That was a game that showed, no, Nintendo still knows what they're doing. This reeks of, we didn't have a big holiday game. They didn't announce it until June this year at E3, and we're all like, what? There's a 2D Mario coming out, and it's 4-player?
Like, yeah, check this shit out, and it's just like two Toads, Mario and Luigi bumping against each
only
other.
Toads. Only Toads are playable.
Yeah, 2 Toads.
They're
Well,
so
Miyamoto's official line on why you can't play as Peach
was about her dress.
is like, we'd have to figure out how to model her dress in 3D.
That'd be tough.
Never done that before.
Yes, coming from the man who basically saved the fucking video game industry with Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers, can't model a dress? Like, come fuck on.
I just thought I had heard a different one where they said,
that's
she
in
can't
print.
save herself, can she?
Well, the one I'm talking about is in print. Like, it's a quote from him.
Okay.
But the 4-player thing where we played, which is kind of their big selling point, you can play with your friends and blah, blah, blah. We found out, not that we all, like, not just don't like it, but actively dislike it. It's not fun. I will say this real quick. 2-player is okay. If you play with Mario and Luigi, it's just enough interplay between the two characters to make it interesting without being crowded.
Yeah.
But even still, the levels are just really kind of bland. But I think the game is at its best when you're playing 2 players.
You were like torturing me. You were running off to the right and moving the screen along, and I died, and I felt... You kept pushing me into obstacles because the screen kept moving, and I couldn't stop dying. I would spawn from my little bubble, fall in lava.
Yeah, die.
No chance of moving.
Yeah.
And I had no idea where I was sometimes. I would completely lose track of myself and then feel my controller shake, and I ran into a fish. I didn't even know where I was.
But what Chris found out, this is a clip of me. This is a clip of, we're doing the 4-player game, and everyone's dead except me, and I'm running through this level, and Chris finds out you can hit a button and make an obnoxious horn noise.
Like, hey, let me in, guys.
Like,
I'm
hey,
still here, but it won't help you.
And it's apparently there only to harass the other player, because as this clip starts. I love this because it shows the discovery of the honk button, and then the abuse of the honk button, and then me clearly getting hit and taking damage because of the honk button. Jumping. Hey. Why does it exist? Don't you want to play a game? Don't you want to play a game with that?
Fun.
Oh man!
Well, it's like
fun for the whole goddamn family.
That's like in the golf games where you could go like, take your shot, take your shot.
Trying to come up with a list of positives for this game. This is really reaching, but this is like the regular underground music that everyone knows. Everyone knows. So the music is pretty fun and well remixed.
Pretty damn good.
But this is when you're on Yoshi. It adds a little drum beat,
islandy kind of
islandy thing.
Dip in the bass.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Okay, this last music, I want you to play it and just tell me what you think it sounds like.
Top Gun anthem?
This to me is... Today on Amazing Inventions, we'll be meeting a man who's found a way to colors. He's made colored
magic powder. He's made lumber stick to walls. He's tied roofs on with bungee cords.
And then we're going to Georgia to meet a man who's colored salt for the first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kato Kalin. All right.
Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing that annoyed me in that game.
Tell
is
me.
that like Yoshi doesn't go with you from a level.
He doesn't follow you level
No,
to
he
level.
waits behind. He waves
It
goodbye.
pissed me off so much. I was like, all right, Yoshi, let's go to the next level. And he's like, see ya.
And he's only in, well, let's be fair, she's only in 3 levels, I think. I can only remember 2. I'm trying to
It's got to be
nice.
in the very beginning because he was in 2 right off the bat.
And I swear, I beat the game. I beat every level in that game. I think only 3 times are you ever actually on Yoshi. And he's on the cover, and they were like, at E3, like, hey, it's Yoshi, everybody. No, it's not. There's an inherent problem with with a new Mario game, especially one that has the balls to put new in the title, and then nothing's new, except a penguin suit and a propeller suit that, like the blue shell suit in New Mario DS, are barely usable. Mm-hmm. The propeller suit almost breaks the game because you can just fly and like ignore everything. It's not like
the blue flower adds more work.
It's ice balls instead of fireballs,
which turns things to ice, which means you have to take care of the ice in order to get rid of enemies.
Yeah, you can't get around it. You can jump on it, but like
or you have to do a stupid pickup.
Yeah.
Wii shake.
But like whereas like the cape in Mario World took skill to keep yourself in the air, and you also would hit things and would fall, and the raccoon tail would only fly for so long.
Mm-hmm.
That propeller suit is like, well, I can really get a lot. If there's no ceiling above me, I can get a lot of air.
Up-scrolling levels, easily beatable, and like I had like 16 of them in my little Mario 3 arsenal.
Yeah, and then I beat the game, and I had 86 fucking lives left over, and it's like they try to say this is going to be a hard game, but like as someone who plays,
it's hard in certain points.
Yeah, certain levels are hard.
But I guess you would call that in any other experience inconsistent, because it's ridiculously easy and then
here's
breakingly
hard. We
hard.
made one level that's really tough. How about that? And there's like 2 boss battles. Most of the boss fights in that were under 12 seconds. And then the other ones were like, why did you make this one so hard? I want to punch everyone I meet from now on. It's just really hard because you're comparing this to
perfect games,
or damn near perfect games. Like you're comparing.
Well, the basis on which games are judged.
Yes, like this, and I kind of thought through this. Like in a way, everyone listening. And all of us sitting at this table, we're all here because of Super Mario Brothers in an arguable way.
No, it's my first game.
We are here because that game and that console pulled an industry that in the U.S. was completely destroyed. And let's say Nintendo didn't make it; they didn't make a console. It's very feasible we would not be surviving in the model we are today. And I don't know, maybe things could have unfolded differently, but that's why it's really hard to play a new Mario game and then be kind of like, it's okay. It's just so lacking the creative spark that they usually exhibit when they make... Like, you can give Nintendo shit for Wii Music, Wii Fit, Wii Sports, but when they make a Mario game that's a true platformer, not sports or party, you're like, well, this is going to be good. There's no doubt. And then this one's just really kind of... Well, you could play it if you want, but you're not missing much.
Could it be that we're just kind of taking a different attitude because we're not kids anymore? And when we were kids, like penguin suit, propeller suit, that would have been huge news. Like we would have
right, but that's
taken
because
that
there were no
Nintendo
other
power
games
to school and showed it off to all
a
our
little
friends.
bit,
but there were no other games to play.
They don't do anything that different.
Yeah.
Like the penguin suit, as far as I can tell, you slide on your belly and occasionally you'll break bricks.
Yeah.
Even though when you were sliding downhill from Mario 3, you're invincible.
Yeah.
So
Whereas like you look at Mario,
now add bricks.
You look at Mario 3, which added the overworld, the suit, like Hammer Brothers suit, Frog suit, Raccoon suit, Tanuki suit, which granted those are kind of the same, but whatever. It added a ton of shit.
Plus Kuribo's shoe.
Kuribo's shoe, best shoe ever. New Mario Wii adds a shitty 4-player mode, unless you're not super invested in Mario, in which case you can just bounce around and throw people around. It's a very consequence-free environment if you don't care. So it might be fun for that. You might have fun with like friends or something. I don't know.
I've always just kind of said who is their audience.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be their audience, and the game looks so dated and does so little.
Yeah, it's not even
to
stylistically
grasp
pretty.
me.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I thought it was downright fucking like, ugh.
It's very strange. It's really hard for me
Not
to
so much the gameplay, but the overworld. Like that shit was like, man, you didn't try.
Yeah, it just really feels like you did.
I've seen prettier WiiWare games on your system in the overworld.
Yeah, it really was difficult to score, and I agonized over this review like more than most. Like just really thinking about what is the score, what do I do, and I may end up being on the low end, but I'm like, I really feel like this is not inspired and not. Like, just Nintendo, like, if Nintendo could phone it in, this is it.
So we bitch about the Wii a lot, and I played New Super Mario Bros. DS. I probably 100%ed it about a year ago.
Yeah.
I was still in there. I could easily do it, and this did not work for me.
Yeah, the DS one, looking back, does have some pretty simple levels, but that's a handheld. I can deal with that. This was a console game with the full power. This is not a joke. Full power of the Wii. There isn't a power to... No. Look at Galaxy. Look at anything.
Even 2D games, when you see like Muramasa,
like
this kind of stuff, and Nintendo could get that close. They could have tried.
They could have tried something.
They could have tried harder and just graphical fidelity and all that kind of stuff.
Well, let's move on. Nobody cares.
Let's move on. This is Nintendo's what release this year? When is it coming out?
Sunday, the 15th.
It is the release.
It's the release, the big one.
Well, we're around what season?
Holiday, Christmas.
Oh, yes, holiday. Speaking of the holidays.
Holiday, why do you hate Christmas so
I love
much?
Christmas. Somebody dropped by.
You're a sleeper agent in the war on Christmas.
Stop it. I am not Jewish. I am totally into Christmas, and I got a recent phone call that made me very, very happy in this time of year.
Hey, buddy. Haven't talked to you in a while. I figured I'd call and make fun of you for being Italian. That was it. See you later. Bye.
Yeah. Paul Ryan called me.
I miss him.
I haven't called him back.
I talked with him on AIM today.
Oh, man. He never did talk with me on AIM.
Well, he had the day off today.
I'm sorry for talking so little about Modern Warfare 2, but not only is there not much else left to say.
Yeah, we've had a week of content on this
I've looked
site.
at the articles. Like, I don't think you guys are... People who care aren't looking at the internet.
Yeah.
And yet the internet's saturated with shit about Modern Warfare 2.
On Twitter and blogs they don't have to engage in.
Yeah.
Like
the first 5 featured articles on our homepage, or at least on the PlayStation 3 page, are all Modern Warfare 2 related. It is just like the 4 feature articles we've done since the release, and then the review. And it's
like the only game that's ever... Well, it's the first time that's ever happened in Radar history where every...
Well, GTA.
Not every main link on the front page being one game. Like, that never happened. But this is we're just kind of experimenting to see, like, this is the biggest release of the year, and we've got, like, content every single day about one game.
Yeah.
There's some counter-programming articles coming as well, but...
I finished the single player... Almost finished the single... You did finish the single-player campaign, Michael.
Yes, I did.
I almost did it in... Like, not even one day, like one sitting.
I did it in one sitting.
And I'm not... It wasn't like a 6-hour thing. It was like 3 or 4.
I started at, like, 10 and finished up around, like, 4 a.m. And I was dying constantly. I swear to God, the regular feels more like veteran in Call of Duty 4.
And I don't mean that to be a... Yeah, I don't mean that to sound like a slam on the single player, because,
Slam!
It's weird now that...
Well, there's also the other mode that
Spec Ops.
Spec Ops, yeah. That I haven't even touched.
It's really good. Like Nagato and I played it the other night.
Oh, yeah, I really want to go through that. Co-op.
I didn't appreciate it until I went to the single player, and it's all these micro moments. You like in GTA or something. You're like, I wish I could replay that. Here's a mode. Here's several levels of difficulty. Here's 2 minutes. Go nuts. So all like the stuff that's quintessentially Call of Duty has little tiny modes in Spec Ops to play with your friends over and over and over. I don't know why there's no campaign co-op other than whatever.
That's how they want to tell the story.
Oh, I didn't want to tell the story. Well, what do you call it? CODWA?
World of War.
CODWA. I know.
I also think they did a really good job with the airport scene, although people
it's beautiful. It opened up the podcast. You guys heard it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, it's just, playing through that, it just kind of struck that it has a very nightmarish quality. With it has the really kind of creepy music, and the gunmen move very slowly.
Yeah, you're not allowed to move fast.
Yeah, and it kind of reminded me, it's like, I think I have actually had nightmares like this, where I've been on the other side of that, and there have been very slow-moving gunmen just mowing everyone down, and there's no escape.
When I try and punch or defend myself sometimes in dreams, like when you...
It's very feeble and
that's what the whole level, like half the level is like. Yeah. You can't move. You can't really make an action.
But I mean, it's also nightmarish, like, from the perspective of the people being shot at, because you're moving very slow, but there's no way they can escape.
I haven't heard anybody arguing against it, really. I think Fox News tried to pull some shit. Like this morning, like I wasn't able to get audio because it didn't exist. But no one's really complaining about that. I think I was weird. I was weirded out by people on Twitter, the same people who write for blog. Games are art. This is offensive. Why? You can't say both ever. You can't. You can't.
Oh, yeah, right. Games can never make this. Can never do this. But you'll watch a movie where this happens.
Games are art until they do something I don't like.
Yeah. This and it's weird to say. Yes, shooting civilians, making you watch. It's fucking art, dude. That's hysterical. That's I don't know. That really makes me very fucking happy. It is because then because the same people would argue against it and like, well, fuck you. Like you'll tell me I took a Norman Bates looking through a hole as someone's getting killed or showering. Like, it's art. It's the best scene in the fucking world. I'm like, this is the same thing. Shut your mouth. This is a different medium, but it's the same thing.
Well, I like that they kind of they're putting in that kind of thing in a game Joe Sixpack is going to play. Like that they have to see this artsy type scene.
Well, they don't have to see it; they can skip it.
I haven't heard of Joe Sixpack in about a year.
But like any gamer worth their salt should read that. This might be offensive to you. They should read it as, "Are you a pussy? Yes or no?
Are you gonna bitch?"
Yeah. It should bring me into a couple things I can draw.
But real quick, we are playing said game.
Sorry, Jesus, yes.
We are playing said game probably right now when you hear this for 24 hours. Minimum 12 hours of the U.S. team and then 12 hours of the U.K. guys.
We'll probably go a little longer.
We'll start at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is probably well past now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing till 2 a.m. Pacific time. That's 5 a.m. on the East Coast and 4 a.m. Central time. And then the UK guys will take over, and then they'll play for 12 hours. If you go to the Games Radar homepage, you'll see right there in the little top story box area is a link, and there's our gamer tags, and add us, and PlayStation IDs.
And be sure at this point it's not hard. Follow the Games Radar Twitter.
At Games Radar.
At Games Radar.
And then
at Brelston.
At Brelston, at CNTista.
At CNTista.
And at TJC Wild.
Letter C. At TJC Wild.
Okay.
You know what system we won't be playing on?
PC.
Yep.
Did you see that IGN gave Modern Warfare 2 a 9.5?
Right.
Average reader review score 1.9.
Wow, that's
1.9. They are angry folks.
It's funny because it's like, yeah, you're angry, but you're completely using the score in the wrong way.
000. Well,
You're right. It is a terrible.
I ran
game
it
with
by
no redeeming qualities.
I ran
One,
it by Nagata, and come on, this is a multiplayer based.
It is. It is shitty. It's no doubt it's shitty.
And they got shafted, and they're always complaining about the consolification of PC games, and this is totally emblematic of that. The
Right.
fact that you jump in a server, you join it, you want to start a game, then I'm the host now. What happened to dedicated? And I forgot about that. Dedicated servers. There were certain servers like, here's what we do here. We only do one map, 24/7. Can't happen ever. Here's what we do here. We played nothing but giant maps. Never ever going to happen.
Michael Myers.
Nothing but Michael Myers. Nothing but certain modes, and all that shit won't ever happen unless Infinity Ward wants to do it. And I always thought on the PC end that was to take the hosting off of their end.
Right.
And since Infinity Ward and Activision don't really need to worry about that anymore, it just feels like an issue of control.
Well, also, I think it's like they want to control what you can create, because they want you to buy more maps instead of doing
which
your
is
own.
kind of horseshit. It's not. I don't know. Multiplayer came about on the PC.
It is kind of baffling, honestly. I barely know enough about that to comment.
No, I had to ask Tyler about dedicated servers. It's been that long for me,
Yeah.
since I had to give a shit about that, because I got kind of tired of it going and searching for servers. We're like, oh well, having played this for 20 minutes, this is a favorite. I like it here, and glad I don't have to do that anymore. Everything runs at the same speed. Here's some other angry nudes, and I might Twitter it. So I don't want to get in trouble. Assassin's Creed 2 gets hit with strong sexual content from the ESRB.
Saucy.
It's such fucking bullshit.
Wow.
Well, you haven't beat the game. You don't know the whole story.
I played every scene that's listed here, and then Michael showed me what one of the directed references is from. Hold on, here we go. The game contains strong sexual overtones. During one seduction minigame, players are able to press buttons to kiss a woman, remove her dress, semicolon, with the woman's back facing the camera. The two characters lower to bed, blow out the candle, and this is my words, the scene fades. That
is strong.
All right, how strong is that,
that's
everybody?
Right at the beginning, too.
It's right at the beginning.
That is tasteless.
How strong is that? Because I thought I remembered in GTA banging people in cars and convertibles and seeing people gyrate and seeing all that shit before. Some scenes take place inside of brothels. Though no nudity or sexual acts are depicted.
Wow.
Strong sexual overtones.
But the main character does get a hug from the Atom.
Yes. It continues. Quote the ESRB, the dialogue contains the following sexual references. So the whip or the paddle today.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Oh, well, clearly. I mean, it really would have stuck out in your brain as something with strong sexual overtones.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was like some sort of background noise that comes from the prostitutes.
Does your wife know about your Page Boys fantasies, Captain?
I wish my job could just be to make up bullshit, arbitrary rules about
A minor
things.
aside, character backstories narrated through still-frame vignettes explain how villains and historical figures achieved their notoriety. Some biographies include references to adultery, sodomy, prostitution, and rape. Example, Katrina was captured and sent to Rodrigo Borgia.
Oh, Mad Libs. This is good.
Who kept her in prison for a year and is rumored to have raped her alongside his son. Like,
Oh, God, that's called a story.
Also, that guy was the Pope at the time, I think.
Oh, wow.
Did it actually happen?
I don't know.
Okay.
It
doesn't matter, because
the amount of detail that they went into with that character.
Michael showed me the scene where
the
the in quotes came from. If you click in the menus on somebody's biography, and in the 6th paragraph of text buried beneath, that is where that passage comes from. Nobody says that.
Right.
Nobody does that. It is written. The word rape is written, thereby.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How many strong sexual overtones have you seen thus far?
To be
we're
fair,
almost done.
that database entry also pops up the first time you meet the character, and you can hit select or back to go to it.
That too, and they also went around spoiling a bunch of shit. Because it's the ESRB, they're allowed to do that.
They don't care.
One cutscene depicts a man and woman wearing translucent, flesh-toned bodysuits as they flee from danger.
Oh yeah, that's the big secret scene you have to unlock.
The digitized lighting effects, the glow from the futuristic suits, obscure most of the details, though outlines of the breasts and buttocks are partially discernible.
Ooh, wow.
It's pretty ridiculous.
It just
I'm
looks
getting a
like
boner right
you
now.
get like these. Okay, what that is that's part of the glyphs that are scattered throughout the game. Everyone, they're like on the sides of certain buildings. You scan them, then you go have to solve a puzzle, and then it unlocks like a half-second video clip that I imagine when you're all done, you put them together, and it has like a whole thing. But a lot of the clips just seem to show like these naked people running from behind, and it's like a split second on screen. Bang.
I just saw outlines of breasts and buttocks and thought of every James Bond movie I've ever seen on commercial television.
That was PG-13.
I saw outlines of breasts and buttocks, and my sexual development was completely stunted and perverted.
Meanwhile, is married, and you at the ESRB are alone. Consumers may also wish to know that the game contains profanity, both in English and Japanese. It says Italian, but I know what they fucking meant. Because it says fuck, shit, and then with the asterisk, I had to go look this up. Kazo, which is a lighter version of dick.
I heard that a lot. I kind of wondered what that meant.
And Muda? I forget what the vowel is here.
Also, like every other word uttered by the guards is stronzo.
It's just shit. It's like they said shit and they said shit again. That is their citations. And again, they put it under sexual overtones.
Ugh.
Shit. Yeah, ESRB is filthy motherfuckers.
ESRB's into Cleveland Steamers. You heard it here first.
Yes. Damn it, where's my exclusive? Damn it, that's not a good exclusive sound effect.
Yeah, it is strange that there's like no oversight or repercussions for anything that they say. It's like, and we're giving strong sexual overtones, and then Ubi can go, we don't agree. Too bad.
God, I would so want to fight that. That is utterly absurd.
You can delay the release of your game and appeal.
Yeah, they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's such. It's such just like.
But it doesn't matter. It's getting an M either way.
It
so
is getting
cares?
an M either way, and no one. And to be fair, the only people who notice that are us.
Yeah.
The average, like
true.
to this day, going into a Toys R Us or Walmart or Target, they don't even know there are ratings.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be official information for Fox News. They're going to read it.
It could, and crappy local TV shows that just completely misrepresent and distort the issue. But I mean, for most normal people, it could say alien butt sex on Pluto under the rating descriptors, and no one would notice or care.
It would be insane to see like a parent.
Well, as long as it's on Pluto, I don't give a shit.
Parents
as long as it's not over here.
Happens
in our
on Pluto,
streets.
stays on motherfucking dirtball. You know what I'm saying? Go for it, Hank.
No, I was gonna say it'd be weird to see parents actually like compare the two M-rated games and see one that said blood and gore or strong sexual content and actually like make a distinction from that. You know? Yeah.
We should get into some happier news. It was going to get a little happy, then really happy. New patch confirmed Lost and Damned DLC on PC versions of GTA 4.
Ooh,
the patch is
really?
fucking achievements titled TLAD : yes, all the achievements the 5 we've come to know and love. So we're one step closer to PS3 users as well.
Patch be far behind?
And also in Rockstar, because I'm saying this because Michael and I saw Red Dead Redemption. We can't say shit about it.
Nope.
But interesting.
It was pretty awesome.
It's
it's on the Wii now?
No, Wii, like WEEE, Wii. A
lot of things Nintendo took the word.
A lot of things I like about Assassin's Creed apply to a Western setting, and looks how it's shaping up.
A hell of a lot prettier.
I loved the first one, and I can't wait to play this one.
A new patch, also Rockstar. A new patch. Bully Score composer claims she's already on board for composing Bully 2.
Jesus, why?
I don't know. I thought Bully was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I make a sad statement?
Make a sad
Speaking
statement.
in Rockstar is that I quit playing Gay Tony because I couldn't beat a level.
Boo.
I'm terrible. I know. I'm terrible at the helicopter, and I tried for a total of an hour and a half to beat this one level, and I could not do it. I just gave up.
You don't have anybody like that you can
Nearby,
say, hey,
yeah.
can you beat this for me?
Not really. I was wishing it was like the old days when my little brother. I could just say like, "Could you beat this for me, please?"
Okay, I'm gonna dip back into bad news. I forgot I had a lot of news written down. Leaked information claims that Microsoft's Natal will release November 10th for $80.
Next year?
Next year.
Oh, okay.
November 2010. Sorry, November 2010 for $80.
Yeah, it came out Tuesday.
It'll also be bundled into console. Rumors look. I don't know.
Rumors look like it'll be stupid and unnecessary.
Well, if you want to, let's be light on the Wii bashing. We gave enough. The American Council on Exercise called Wii Fit benefits extremely underwhelming. Burns an average of 160 calories per 30 minutes on best case scenario. Say it burns twice as many calories as sedentary gameplay, meaning Call of Duty.
Right.
Real games.
So if I just play sedentary games twice as hard.
Yes. Yes.
Basically that means if you play Modern Warfare 2 and squat while you do it, you'll burn
every time you hit the X button, hit yourself in the knee. Any X button. Rhythm boxing burns a third as many calories as traditional boxing, and the most damning, Wii Sports actually burns more calories than Wii Fit.
Wow. I'm not surprised.
No.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
Because Wii Fit is much more aerobic than it is physical strength. Like any kind of strenuous
much
activity.
more housewife.
I think they should also say, differentiate between Wii Fit before you find out you don't have to swing the Wii remote really hard and after.
That's a good point. You probably did have fucking buffoons conducting this exercise.
That's true. They often do.
Okay. Happy news. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Hi.
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 Hello. Hi, Big Bird.
Yeah, it's Big Bird.
I thought it was Awesome Possum.
What's the game? What's the game? Anybody?
Big Bird Goes to Hell.
Sesame Street games.
Oh my God, no.
Follow that birdo.
No. Anymore? No. Henry, give it a shot. I think you're.
Big Bird says
right
hi. Official game.
Sesame Streets. Let's count to 3.
Ooh, Henry.
ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Those are the only 6 characters in this game.
No.
There's a
no. As it turns out,
Stave it off. 1,
it is
2,
Big
3,
Bird's hide and speak. That is why it took.
Yeah. Fascinating. What did he call me?
This is a bunch of moronic mini games. It's Sesame Street's 40th anniversary,
right?
And as much as you can downplay that all you want, but sorry if you're listening right now, you grew up watching Sesame Street.
It's true.
It's free for everybody.
It's
Everybody
true.
has seen it, and everybody has loved it at some point.
It's true.
It's the only one with Big Bird talks. No one else in the game talks.
Before Elmo took it over.
Before Elmo took it over, I found like PlayStation Sport, Sesame Street Sports. The ugliest game I've ever seen.
Oh, there's so much PS1 Sesame Street shit.
Big Bird is
It's
introducing
all Elmo.
all these people coming in the house. Just made me happy.
The Count. Bert. Elmo.
Sounds like they're just like coming in and scratching at fleas.
They're walking. They're walking 8-bit style.
Yeah, I make that sound when I walk.
Well, who was the last person to walk in, Michael?
What?
Who was the last person to walk in?
I wasn't paying
Elmo.
attention. I was too busy
Bert.
talking over it.
That's Grover.
Dick.
Would you
That
like
was
to play
Grover.
again?
Would you like to play again? What do I have here?
Wow. You found Bert. Now find Elmo.
Yeah.
There he
find
is.
Elmo.
He was farting under the table.
You found them all. Bert. Elmo.
Did he burn up?
Count.
Fucking on re-entry?
I think, I'm pretty sure Big Bird punched them into the atmosphere. Let's see if I can sync that up.
What
Where's
was
my
that
punch
sound?
button?
What could that sound be? That was a burning sound.
No, it sounded like them burning as they careen through the atmosphere.
When Big Bird points at them, they combust.
They teleport back to hell?
This is a successful Big Birding and Big Bird's hide and speak.
You found them all. Bert. Elmo. The Count. Grover. Great.
What's
terrible. That was me trying to combine sound effects. No
what
editing.
are they burning up? What is happening?
It's the bare minimum you could do in terms of sound effects, considering you spent all your money on Carol Spiney.
Right.
Which is Big Bird, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is a 70-year-old man walking around inside a giant suit with a TV set. He's practically
with his arm up all day,
playing a game. Like he's looking at himself down where he's walking. He's been doing this for years. Love that man. When he dies, national tragedy.
If you want to hear the saddest thing ever, it's if you go to the YouTube. If you go to YouTube, look this up.
Oh my God!
Big Bird singing "It's Not Easy Being Green" at Jim Henson's funeral, or memorial service.
Anybody see that? It's like his own variation, and
Right.
the guy.
You can
Big Bird's
hear
about to cry.
Big Bird
The guy in
break.
the suit is about to cry or crying as he's singing this, and it's just pretty much like a civic center, like a stadium.
Right.
Terrifying. That's where the memorial.
He
service
should have come out on his blue feathers from Follow That Bird.
Great.
All right.
That's
all
how
right.
you know he's sad.
All right, let me burn this sound effect only because I told everybody I'd do it last week, and then we'll go into break. Maybe I should have mentioned this in more press. This should have been mentioned earlier, but there's a new game coming to 360.
It's one of the most popular gaming systems out there, and when most people think of the Xbox, they think of high-action video games. But it does so much more.
We use our Xbox as the primary way that we consume media. I play games on it, yes, but we also watch TV, watch movies, etc.
What's he talking about? Don't answer, Hank. What's he talking about? What's the new biggest thing coming to the Xbox?
Netflix? Twitter?
Already there, actually.
Facebook?
Already there. Already there.
Internet?
No.
What?
Aaron Linney, a self-proclaimed gamer and tech geek, says while his Xbox has several functions, it's missing one. He can't read a book on it.
I'm more comfortable with a controller in my hand than I am with a book in my hand.
He took the dilemma to his bosses at Lifeway and pitched an idea to put the Bible on the Xbox.
That's kind of a jump.
Yay!
Like, I really want to read a book. The Bible.
The Bible.
Of all the books I could read, that
The
one.
Bible.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta
I
say,
really need the Xbox, the clarity to read all the Begats and Genesis.
I think the movie is better, but the Bible is a fucking popular book. Like, people go ape shit for the Bible.
Right.
It's incredible. There's got to be something to that, man. We got to make a game.
How'd
out
they
of this.
never make a second one?
Yeah, they did.
No.
The New
It's like
Testament.
it's like
It deleted all that
No.
Jewiness.
That's a sidequel. That's not a sequel.
He gave him the okay, and Bible Navigator X was born.
So if we have the opportunity to introduce the Bible to people in a different format, in a way that they're used to, then why wouldn't we take that opportunity?
He says the program will be ideal for Bible studies, youth groups, or people like him who prefer to sit in front of a TV with a controller in their hand.
Wow, that's condescending. Or people like him who like to just eat gutter trash.
Idiots.
Was that on the 700 Club? Or?
Can you imagine his resume probably said, what did you work on? Well, developing the Bible.
For people like him who have to wear a bib in order to keep drool off their shirts.
All right, I gotta piss, so let me burn this off super quick. Remember I mentioned last week, new Roger Rabbit, old Roger Rabbit.
Right.
People were afraid. Charles Fleischer, live and well. This is Benny from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's a cab.
Where can I drop it? Somewhere we can hide. I got just the place. And incidentally, if you should ever need a ride,
just stick out your thumb.
Hey, Shannon, be a lady.
Benny the cab. Back to the Future. Marty McFly about to buy the Atlas.
Right.
Save the clock tower. Hey, kid, I'm $100. Will you help save the clock tower?
The Cubbies.
Perfect.
Come on, kid, that's an important historical event. I am. What did you just say? I said I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season. Put some money on the Cubbies.
Put some money in the Cubbies. Benny the cab.
And how about those Brooklyn Dodgers? Are they bums or what?
Yes, fine.
And both of those movies are how old?
We will go to 89 and 90, I think.
Ooh, look at you go.
89
Same
90.
director.
88
What's his
99.
name?
Robert
Brett
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis.
All right. You know what? I think if I got the dates wrong, I'll probably like them less. Now I'm ashamed. We go to break. Question of the week. Contest. Contest for new games.
Ask a Games Journalist.
Ask a Games Journalist. Empty bladder. This is going to be exciting.
Oh, boy.
The iTunes reviews are in.
Twishart says,
a wonderfully pungent gaming cluster shard.
Kyrian BC says,
spawned from the heavens, absolute brilliance on so many levels.
Melzul says,
pants crappingly hilarious.
And Game Dad says,
the constant belching and F-bombs make the podcast feel immature.
Get over here!
TalkRadar for the win.
Let's take a break in the action to get a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Cole Hamels, and I'm here today to talk to you about something close to my heart, random grenades. Have you ever found yourself just walking down the street, minding your own business, when BAM! You look down and see a deadly explosive device attached to your uniform? I have, and let me tell you, it's not cool. So be cool, avoid random grenades. They're for pussies. What the fuck?
Brought to you by Fight Against Grenade Spam.
All right, this is the final round of the Games Radar Spelling Bee. Darth Vader, your word is TalkRadar. As you wish. Brett Elston, use it in a sentence.
I swear to God, I've never laughed so hard as I did when listening to TalkRadar 15.
TALC. Sorry.
Go to GamesRadar.com.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast?
Yeah!
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Brett.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Chris.
Henry.
Hey.
Me.
Hi.
Rock Band, The Damned, Smash It Up Part 2. White Stripes, Rock Block, Triple Threat. Icky Thump, Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground. The other one I forgot. Kasabian, Clubfoot, Rock Band DLC.
Did they have any other songs besides Clubfoot?
I think they had one more, but I don't know it because I never saw them in the film trailer. It was used in 1,600 times.
Oh, right.
But I'm going to go into game deals.
Take my advice.
What?
Do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
This week, Conduit, $17.99 at Amazon.com.
Oh, boy. Oh, finally a fair price. I'm just saying, this
That's
game
right.
is boring.
Poor Conduit.
It shouldn't cost us $20 because you tried.
Every Wii game should be.
No, I paid money for that effort.
Yeah,
I paid $50 for that effort.
What about this effort? Lego Batman, PS3 360 on Amazon.com, $16.99.
Ooh, that's a pretty good price.
That's an unbelievably fair price for what that game is. Because what it is Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, with less.
Batman.
With less to do.
With Batman.
And suits instead of different characters.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's not true. You play as the villains, but who cares?
Toys R Us, possibly, rumored, maybe, should have, hopefully. Buy one PS3 360 Wii game over $40, get $20 off another. There's no real good way to turn that into a sell phrase.
To a what?
It's a phrase, like just a tagline.
Oh, yeah.
Buy one game over...
Takes too much explanation.
Buy one game at a certain price, get it half of the price it's worth.
Well, it's just
least.
It's just get $20 gift card, basically.
Not necessarily. Not on greatest hits games. Game Crazy... Not online, in store, which I could have sworn these places out of business.
No,
it's slowly bleeding out.
Slowly bleeding out, and we can put that to your advantage. Chronicles of Riddick, 360 only, $19.99 new.
Huh.
They have used, so they're all cheaper used. Ghostbusters, PS3 360, $19.99.
Don't you feel silly for buying it 2 weeks ago?
Shit.
Shut up.
There he is.
Oh, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. Prototype 360 PS3 $24.99 new.
You know what I think of every time someone says prototype now?
What, Brett?
Infamous. No, the time we were all at Amanda's house, formerly of Games Radar.
Yeah.
We were formerly Games Radar, currently Kotaku. We were all over at AJ Glasser's house, and you guys were just playing prototype. And it was just people running in a fucking circle, punching people forever.
Yeah, and we pass it to the next person, and they do that, and pass it to the...
And that's my impression of Prototype, which I'm sure is a fine game, but I'm just like...
It's fun as fuck. Well, fine, you'll be behind this. Punch-Out Wii, $24.99.
Oh, man. God damn.
Good price.
Please buy it so
Good
that
price.
Nintendo gets the message that games that take time with
Yeah.
are good.
I think that ship may have sailed for
Probably too late, but please. For
I don't have it
fuck's-
yet.
What the
I don't have
shit,
it.
man?
I don't have it yet. I played almost all. I played the first mode all the way through here, so it was kind of like. Well,
I didn't want Conduit or Mad World, but I bought them because I want to send a
Oh,
message.
if I could afford to send a message, I would.
It's $25.
But it looks like I'm not flying home for Christmas because I bought Ghostbusters.
Dude, I'm not flying home for Thanksgiving because I live here.
Oh, well, that's one holiday.
You've ruined Christmas.
Yeah, I've ruined both holidays for myself. Resident Evil 5, 360 PS3, 1999. Metroid Prime Trilogy, $24.99.
Wow.
Prince
Wow,
of Persia,
really? Damn.
Prince of Persia, $14.99.
Oh,
Red
totally
Faction, $19.99.
Damn. That's really good.
Yeah.
Those are all Game Crazy in store.
Yeah, apparently.
Those are really good game deals.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Chris.
hold on, eToy. Can you do that afterwards? eToys buy two Wii DS games get one free.
Where?
eToys.com.
Fake.
It's not fake. It exists. It's not a myth. I've seen it try
They
land.
just want your credit card number to rip you
Stop
off.
it, Hank. Hank. Michael, can you undo this on him? Like, what's the opposite?
Pets.com?
Sure.
Don't come.
And Brett, those were what?
Those were some fine game deals.
Take my advice.
What do
Do
you-
as I say.
What do you-
Save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you buying?
All right.
Can you try to grab...
This is check the page of our site because first of all you're going to see blah 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 fan art, a bunch of stuff we've written, pictures of us in the office.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And
That just
somebody made animated that threat I made to kick somebody in the throat, called somebody a shit dick. They animated me with CGI 435.
Really?
435.
I guess the school's paying off for him.
Yeah, it's an animation of me saying that as an animated character. It's really weird. That'll be on the front page. But Eric supposedly had lined up some exclusive games deals direct GameDealsDirect.com. Game Deal Direct? I forget it. We've done it before, but it'll be on the front page. Exclusive deals to us on new shit. Like I thought I heard mention of Uncharted 2 for $46.
Wow.
Don't quote him on that, though.
I hope. I was supposed to have this information now. That's all I'm saying.
And we don't.
Anyway, game deals.
Well, it's starting again.
No, that was the end. No, we're going into question of the week. And
Are we?
last week's question of the week.
Yeah, Chris had to take this up for me this week.
Last week,
Question of the
Brett, it was my pleasure.
It was question of the week 60.
Brett, it was my pleasure. Question of the week last week was, it's a good one. What was the first CD you ever owned?
Answers were all in GamesRadar.com/forums.
Mhm.
Talk Radar Podcast.
TalkRadar Podcast.
First CD I ever owned was Aerosmith.
Big ones. Pump.
No, not big, the one with the udder on it with the piercing.
Get a grip.
Get a grip. That's the one. Yeah.
A lot of these were bad. Like there was a lot of Green Day.
Yeah.
Weird Al. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's one of my first
Weezer Blue
cassettes.
albums, and then there was a lot more NSYNC and Backstreet than I'm comfortable with.
It was strange. And then I saw a couple that were CDs of this of the last 10 years.
Sure.
That made me want to die.
Hold on, I will get to that. Turbo Bison, probably my best friend in the world. It's Crisscross, love that.
Whoa.
I Give You Butt Funk, which is, yes, an amazing name. Said his first CD was... I Give You Butt Funk said his first CD was Phil Collins' Face Value.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a nice little story attached. In 1990, I won the lottery. I won $4,000 in the lottery, blew it all in a Kenwood CD stereo system, and only had enough money left to buy one CD. I wanted something to really show off the sound and quality of my new purchase, and the song In the Air Tonight fit the bill perfectly. 10 years later, he said all his CDs were stolen, and the only one left was Phil Collins' Face Value, which was in the stereo at the time. Wow. And that's why you're hearing the 8-bit version in the background. Skynet is coming. Nickelback.
I saw a lot of Nickelbacks
Long
on
Road.
here.
Yeah. Boondock Saint 54, Same as Me. Off the Deep End, Weird Al.
Wow.
Both Creative Assassin and Garn Sr. bought CDs without ever owning a CD player to exclusively play them in their Sega CD. I believe Creative Assassins was Duran Duran.
Yeah, Duran Duran. Probably Rio, I'm guessing.
I don't know. It just said Duran Duran. Had a bunch of gay guys on the cover.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the best bands ever.
SSJ4 Raditz, Killer Cuts.
I saw several Killer Cuts as well.
Killer Cuts.
Nice pack in with Killer Instinct.
I'm going to try and say this. It's probably easy with my drink a little bit. Lasher Cat, Billy Joel's Glass Houses. Thank you. And possibly one of our few confirmed woman listeners. Cracker33, big ups to MXPX Teenage Politics, very big with me. Amnesiac, Limp Biscuit, Chocolate Starfish, and the Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Oh my god!
I thought it was going to be $3 bill.
$3 bills, y'alls. No, we have to remember that album was their old music before they were bought out. Man, did I ever tell my Limp Bizkit story?
I'm sure you did.
Did I?
But tell it again.
I don't know. I hadn't heard it.
Limp Bizkit. One, my lawyer was her nephew was in the band, and like they had a record deal, and that's where remember in the late 90s was like rock acts with turntables in them. That's all we want.
Yeah.
That's all we want. And I think he was uncomfortable. He's apparently in the band when that happened, but I saw them at Warped Tour.
Right.
God, I hope I haven't told this already. I saw Limp Bizkit at Warped Tour. Warped Tour is all punk rock and ska at the time.
Yeah.
Closing the show is Limp Bizkit, and everybody was like, "Who the fuck are these guys? And they must be great."
Right.
And Real Big Fish Real Big Fish.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's like
appropriately named Sellout.
And then right afterwards, Limp Bizkit, and everybody, like the stampede that left the venue when Limp Bizkit went on, and I remember in the back, "Hey, where y'all going?" Yeah, come on, y'all, stick around.
I got some flavored water for you.
I'm like, oh man, I feel so bad. That band looks like they made their way, but they didn't. They never made their way, and they never built their up fan-wise. They got put in the front of Warped Tour. I'm like, feel bad for that band. 2 weeks later, they're on MTV.
Yeah.
Which is, and they've in the meantime, if you've looked at the new, they were the first ones to come clean. Like, yeah, they paid the radio to pay our song. Like, they were like the first, one of the worst examples of a manufactured band.
Yeah.
They also they were the band that I think inspired everybody to start the going crazy at Woodstock '99.
Your mic is pointed at your nose.
Although I remember I read an interview with Fred Durst several months ago, like as a director, I think in Entertainment Weekly, where he was talking about how he was, I guess, saying that he was like a nerdy kid in school, and he was pissed off that like the music that he made, like most of his fans were like the same kind of kids who would have bullied him in school. It's like, these aren't the people I want to entertain.
A bunch of wrestling fans.
I'm glad everyone learned how to wear red hats.
And Johnny Maverick said the Moffats, which is a bunch like Hanson for country fans.
Jesus.
But my favorite crossover, Crabbo Turbo, and Nathan X Explosion said their first CD was the Space Jam soundtrack.
Oh, man.
The Space Jam soundtrack.
96.
Yes. And why do you think that was? What's your choice cuts?
I Believe I Can Fly.
Ooh,
I'm going to say it was because they secretly wanted to watch R. Kelly piss on a basketball hoop that had been animated.
No. It turns out it was my favorite jam off the album too. A duet between Barry White and Chris Rock, Basketball Jones.
I can't believe this exists.
I can't either.
Is there a song at some point?
Well, in case you don't know, Chris Rock doesn't sing.
Right.
And Barry White just kind of
Barry White doesn't really talk.
I completely forgot the character Basketball Jones. Totally forgot about it.
You know what was better was Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones. I'm talking to you, baby. Oh, baby.
You should put your clothes back on.
I can't.
What is preventing you? What is preventing you from reclothing yourself?
Barry White, fat, baby. Barry White.
He likes watching dudes jerk off in front of him. What?
You see what used to be your panties? That's a lake now. Get that moist, baby.
He starts laughing at his own lyrics. This is pretty sexy, I guess.
Two Jews walking to a bar, baby.
That's Dr. Claw.
Oh, gadget. Okay.
Oh,
Bravo.
Good.
All right.
You know what made me the saddest, though?
One. Oh, no, I had those written down. The saddest at the top. Killdrawn, I have never actually bought a CD before.
Whoa.
And MD Hammer, never bought a CD player, but my mom gave me some of her CDs. And they're all shit that I bought. Stone Temple Pilots Purple, Sublime, Blink-182.
You
and
bought Sublime?
Oasis.
Ew.
What's the story? I loved actually all the Sublime
Man,
albums
before
when they were
Sublime
alive.
sold out, I loved them.
No, I know. And now I seem like a total frat dude, like listening to them as much as I did. But God damn, it's a pretty interesting combination of a lot of different musical styles.
Sure is.
Plus, they like the weed a lot, and that's cool.
Yes, they like weed and fucking people. Oh, God.
Oh
And they're
man, nobody's
Dalmatian.
ever sung about those things before.
And I saw
Right.
Awkward Taste in My Mouth. First CD was All Killer No Filler by Sum 41.
Wow.
Which it only hurts me because that was 2001 and I was 20. Oh my god.
Yeah. I remember seeing that was like with Spider-Man. No, they had another song in Spider-Man. Like
Fuck,
the next year.
I forget who. Oh, that song is one of the worst songs
Oh.
of all time.
I know
Rock, it's what we live for. It's
Yeah.
what we're all about.
Rock is what we live for.
Ew.
Songs
Ew.
about the power of
Songs
rock.
about the genre you like
Right.
are always terrible.
Although to back up to defend Awkward Taste in My Mouth, he then bought Iron Maiden Brave New World.
Hey, how about that?
And CK.
Somebody put up Blind Guardian and said, I appreciate that because I saw in podcast 9
Wow.
you played Blind Guardian for 9 minutes. You're welcome. That's exactly what I hope the music does. Fuck. And then one other thing I wanted to mention, I forgot who said it, but it was The Party, originally titled MMC, which was the new Mickey Mouse Club Players.
I remember that.
Their boy band. And I looked them up because I was trying to find their music because it's like, who knew they didn't have fans sticking around creating websites out of The Party. Their last album was called The Party's Over, Thanks for Coming.
Oh my god.
It's like-
Wow.
And it was like, I think they said it was made a year after. They didn't break up because they were never a real band,
Right.
and it was like B-sides and like unrecorded, unreleased sessions from the last album.
We'll see you at KFC buffet.
Thanks for coming. It's like that shitty NES ending you used to get. Thanks for playing. Drink Coke, play again. Thanks for being a fan for 5 years. New users. Mid-Camian, I hope that's how you say it. Jesus Chrysler Superstar. He said, you said CD. Day of the Tentacle was his first CD. Bootleg Asian 99. He had an Elmo album. Super 2J Naughty Teddy Bear. You Sound Sexy. That was not a name. Just the Bowbreaker. J Smegma Insanity.
God.
Whoa.
Hellbox 9, whose avatar looked like a CD, and I thought was his answer just on glancing, but I looked closer. It is Joe Bluth's Franklin Comes Alive. It ain't easy being white. It ain't easy being brown.
Oh, that.
Fuck all you. Arrested Development
I know
references.
that. I get it.
You'll be rewarded. C-dubs. I exchange V-cards with retards. The Wolfen. The TalkRadar Weeb Motes. Kazi21 Fergus. New users. You are all filled with win.
I'd also like to mention, you mentioned Bootleg Asian 99. He, a couple weeks ago, sent in this lovely story of TalkRadar bringing two people together. And I wanted to share it since we are balls,
I will do a contest after this. I forgot to do the contest. Go ahead.
Since we are balls deep in the community segment. He sent me this message on October 29th, so it's been a while. Hey, I just signed up for the forums, and I've been a long-time listener of the podcast. My lady friend that I met through school comes over to my place to say hello. I left your podcast on blaring in the other room. She hears it, comes inside, and asks, "Is that TalkRadar?"
Why, yes.
I replied with a nod, since I'm a generic, awkward teenage boy. I discovered she was a gamer and she listened to your podcast. We're now dating. I'd wanted to thank you for getting me a girlfriend. It's greatly appreciated. You're welcome.
I'm going to pass it along to our bosses as if that happens all the time, but the reality is that is the only chance in the universe that will ever happen.
Yeah.
And it just happened to happen, and it happened to end up in your
Also,
inbox.
I'm sure our show is the only reason for that.
Right. They ended up together?
Yes. And if you get
No
married,
other variables
and if you
involved.
get married, please send us photographs so we can say that we're responsible for that.
I listen to TalkRadar and I
But if
can't
we-
meet a woman.
But if you stop doing the podcast, they'll break up, so you can't ever stop.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Chris.
Oh, it's all on me now?
Yeah.
I'm going to spice up that relationship.
No way.
You know what your relationship... No. No. You know what your relationship needs? A little bit of me, baby. I'm going to insert myself into that situation.
Quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say who.
Yeah, you heard me, New
Word,
Asian.
you're
Keep that
talking
girl
about
out of
dicks.
this. I'm going to fuck that kid in his urethra. No mercy. No.
Do you want to do games journalist, or do you want to do...
Oh, the contest, League of Legends. I don't know a lot about League of Legends.
Well, I have the box.
But it's based off of a mod for Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne called Defense of the Ancients.
Yes.
And, it's the most popular...
Dota All-Stars.
It's the most popular mod. There's an entire game based off of it from Riot Games. I don't know much about it, so we're just going to put down just...
Yeah, but we've been hearing about it nonstop, so somebody win this thing so
Somebody-
it can be out of our office.
Well, here's the thing. The thing we're giving away is the collector's pack that you can buy in the store. Even though the game League of Legends is free, the collector's pack...
This is how little I'm aware of
comes
this.
with a cardboard box.
It comes with a box,
that
which
folds.
costs money. So
It'll be just like the Halo ODST soundtrack winners. Just tell us why you want it.
Just tell us why you want it in the comment.
We're going to create its own thread.
The collector's pack includes exclusive Kale, the Judicator skin.
The
So
Judicator skin.
You got a skin, 20 champions, 4 equipment upgrades, in-game currency via prepaid card, and a collector's map. So even though the game is free, this kind of comes with stuff in it, and you're kind of buying this pack of stuff.
Stuff.
To go with your League of Legends. And yeah, just tell us in the thread, gamesradar.com/forums.
Win that shit,
but yeah,
bitch.
look in the thread. The thread will be started by the Games Radar prize pig, and if you have won anything, like say Batman, Superman Blu-ray, Lando, I'm talking to you. Just message what?
How could you post an entry in the forums and not know how to get?
Just message the Games Radar prize pig in the forums. To private messaging, like it's in the forums, and if you win, just message him with your complete address and also what you won. Because there's a lot of contests running at the same time.
Brett Elson, did you know that your complete address included your name?
Yes, I did.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know that.
As someone who went to school ever,
I think in the future I will disqualify people who don't because I've made that threat before and no one seems to care.
And I wanted to say, we may sound harsh like this. When I was on KOXM a couple weeks ago, Ryan McCaffrey of OXM, he actually said like, you know how we'll make an effort to get a hold of, like, we need your address, or hey, we need your name. He, like, literally, no. Just moves on to the next person. No contact, no information. Oh, you won. You had the best entry. You did not fill it out. Not talking to you. Next. There's someone with a complete address. You win. And I thought we were being tough.
It's just, but announcing it the way we do, which I'm guessing we're going to have to stop doing because of shit like this. No, it is, like, because I have to, like, track down the person and message them directly. No, you didn't give it to me right, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that doesn't get off my plate. Like, Superman versus Batman DVDs sending out hangs over my head until one asshole puts his name down and sends it to me. Like, that has to sit there forever. And I try and do it in one bulk so I can just forget about it.
Right.
Done. And, whatever. You're inhibiting, you idiot. Yeah, you listening who doesn't ever put your name. You're inhibiting everybody's prizes. You're dampening contests. You should probably die in a fire with a loved one who doesn't deserve it. And
just please fill out your address. Message the Games Radar prize pig.
I guess that's a better way to say it.
And you will get your shit. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to start moving on. We don't have fucking all day to. Anyway, ask games.
No, even sending an email that if you get back to me in 2 days, you held this up for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Stop doing that.
Right.
Fill it out correctly. I can't believe we may have to put a fucking sticky up on how to fill out an address.
That is if we can put up stickies.
We can. No, we can put up announcements.
Oh, what a great time to be alive. Final part of the community segment is the Ask a Games Journalist thread.
One question. We got to keep this to a minimum.
Only
Jesus, so
one?
we're using this to vent. Last time it was like 90 minutes. Like,
it was
just us bitch. Yeah, it was. It was. I know it's your favorite part, Michael.
The podcast was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
It's really long. It's a lot of bitching, and I got bored.
All right.
So,
well, to be fair, 2 of these questions are not. Two of these questions are explanatory, and only one of them. I have three. Two are explanatory that aren't really arguing. The last one is the one we'll do.
Okay.
We'll do these very quickly. These come from GamesRadar.com/forums. There's a thread called Ask a Games Journalist. Go there, ask us anything you want about being in the industry, blah, blah, blah. First one is
we'll answer it if Chris doesn't object.
Yes. First one, Crouton. How or why did you get involved in writing for other publications in addition to Games Radar? Like, I know Michael said he was writing for a 10th of PTOM this month. How did you get involved with that? Does someone from PTOM come to you and personally ask if you want to write a feature? Blah, 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 blah. Are you compensated for your extra work? Do you get your name out there, get more exposure? The simple answer is Future is the company that owns Games Radar and PTOM and OXM and PC Gamer and Maximum PC. We all kind of work under the same umbrella.
Pretty close to one another.
Yeah, like PTOM is the next door down. They're in what feels like a morgue because it's its own blocked off room.
Yeah.
Them and Nintendo Power have walls up around, whereas Games Radar is just open. And we're right next to the bathrooms, and we're next to the kitchen, so everyone who walks up.
We are in the slave section of the restaurant.
Yes, it's it's like it's weird because we'll have like, hey, here come the really big wig guys coming from their fancy meeting, and then you're probably walking by our desk. No, that's not Indiana Jones would never do that.
Well, I've seen several times they walk by and like, oh, this is Toy Town. Look at this place.
Toy Town.
Oh,
Look at all the toys,
sure
and
have
then
so fun.
usually some cuss word being yelled. But yeah, basically it's just because we all I think most of us that have appeared in Nintendo Power, OXM.
They come to me when they're desperate. So,
yeah.
Well, the short answer is they ask us.
Yeah, they basically ask.
We work for the same company. It's cheaper to hire us because we work for the same company.
Yeah,
and
we do get paid extra for it because it is additional work, but it's not. It is part of.
We get paid less than a freelancer outside the company would get.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I mean, he can't do it in the office. Is that him?
Yeah, the technical rule is because it is freelance, we're not supposed to do it while we're working at Games Radar in the day. And in some cases, if there's a game like I really wanted to review Chinatown Wars for PSP, so I went to Eric, who is normally our boss, but right now he's heading up PTOM. I just went to him and said, I really want to review Chinatown Wars. When you get it in, can I do it? Yes. Here you go.
Oh, and Gary told me I could say that congratulations to Gary Steinem, the new EIC of PTOM, and Logan Decker, the new EIC of PC Gamer.
PC Gamer.
I want to get Logan on here at some point. Someday.
Oh, yeah.
Someday. Logan's fucking...
Logan's
a trip.
He is a trip. Next one up is Ridgely. Did you know as much about video games before you were hired, or is it something you pick up in the office? I'm always amazed at how you can hear the name of a game. Well, that sounds really specific, actually. And know what year it came out, and and then who developed and published it. But generally, did we all know about games as much as we let on?
Outside of the date, I thought I've said this before, but I wasn't allowed to play a lot of games. My parents never bought me games, but I read about them constantly.
Yeah.
So I do know. You see, in a feature meeting, I'll throw shit I've never played. I have all this backlogged in my head where fucking stuff I learned in college should be.
Right.
We all do. I mean, we all grew up reading Nintendo Power and EGM and all the other magazines.
When the internet rolled around.
Yeah, exactly.
The internet rolled around, it's just like it's information overload, and you have too many different points of view on everything. Whereas growing up, it was like, well, I've got 2 official lines. I've got EGM, and I've got Nintendo Power, and on a sad day, I've got Game Pro.
IGN kind of filled that niche.
I'm talking about growing up.
Oh, okay.
But that's why we all kind of have the same knowledge about that time period very well. But modern day games, it's mostly because we work here. If I weren't working in the industry, I wouldn't know shit about Assassin's Creed because I don't care. But just by virtue of being in the room, I feel like I know a decent amount about the game. And we write features all the time for games we didn't finish or maybe never even played. Never touched. But we know enough from taking appointments, from everyone else in the office playing it, from reading everything else online, and we can write very authoritative features. Like the top 7 from this week, I never played Beyond Good and Evil. I've never played Parasite Eve. I've barely played Half-Life, but through research and talking to people who have played them, that's called research, you can make a case for things. So that's that. And here's the next question. This is the one that actually will be discussion. It takes a second. It's a long paragraph, but it takes a second to get to the point, but I feel it does necessitate a lead-in. Right. From Johnny Maverick with his Babylon 5 avatar. Do you guys have any thoughts on the academic side of gaming? I mean, my university, and then he spells mean, M-E-E-N, which is unfortunate. I mean, on my university course, we have to read a lot of academic studies on games and gaming, and a lot of them seem overly, fancy worded or whatever, and come off as desperate as they're trying to prove games are a subject worth studying as actually worth of analysis. Basically, my point is if this trend continues, video game journalism will most likely end up a lot like film journalism, and one thing that shocks me is how that film critics just suck and are f-king pointless. As gaming is a relatively young medium, don't you think there's an opportunity to just say, no, we don't want games journalism and gaming study to slide down that path, a bunch of pseudo-academics sitting around stroking beards and referencing obscure things they neither understand nor care about in the hope they'll look intelligent?
It's already reached that point.
It has and it hasn't.
And I also don't think it's fair to paint film criticism and film journalism with one big brush and say it all sucks and is stupid.
But I know what he's talking about. He's talking about collegiate,
I definitely
scholarly.
Know yes, I know what he's talking about.
Like people who make, and I love the fact that people can make a living, get grants, make a living writing off the things they like.
Yeah.
But I took nothing but film classes in college, and they're all fucking bullshit.
That's true.
They're all total horseshit.
I took 2 years of them.
And that's for college, but then I came over here to the game side, and I see all these weirdly intellectual articles of people trying to justify things like mercenaries, which just and we discussed this before, but it's still a fledgling medium. There's a slight stigma to being a gamer,
right? A little bit,
and the people who are really smart justify that with like this over intellectualism.
Yeah,
and it isn't really necessary. The same people claiming like the death of games journalism, like, say I was talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. How much journalism would you require for Pirates of the Caribbean?
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe Gears of War doesn't need a lot of journalism. Maybe it needs people writing about it who love it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if the intellectual dissections of games is like coming from a place of like, well, I've thought a lot about this. This really struck me. I'm putting it on paper, and I think other people will agree. I think other people will be interested in this, and that's one thing. But a lot of it, let's be fair, is just total masturbation. It's just people trying to assign meaning where there is no meaning, or trying to look smart by analyzing something that deep down they feel is stupid.
Which puts me in a weird. The internet has taken away, I think, the star writer who gets paid more.
Yeah.
Like the opinion you really care about, because there's so many opinions all over the internet. This guy's doesn't mean the most, and so you get this guy on the internet who writes like 17 paragraphs on how, no offense, to no relation to what we talked about in the top 7, but how Samus is the ultimate feminist character.
Right?
Really? Not really. You just did it, and it's more of a show for you than it is to people who like the game and the game itself.
Right.
And that in the internet has kind of pushed that aside. No one needs that anymore.
And it reminds me of, we've talked about this on the podcast before, of like games seem to be the only medium where everyone involved in it are too eager to have it legitimized. Like we're trying too hard. Like
wasn't on that cast, but Michael's comment about rock and roll.
Like rock and roll
never fucking asked.
Didn't ask, will you please take us seriously? Movies didn't ask, will you please take us seriously?
Who gives a shit? Judged by my intro, what I think the mainstream media thinks of our fucking medium.
Like they became.
Don't care.
They became. There's very good reasons. What finally made them accepted was, one, the audience who grew up with them grew up and started running the world. That's a big part of it. And two, you make enough quality content and people eventually do realize it. And if enough games behave maturely, then people will start acknowledging it outside the medium as an art form. Now, I think it is. I think everything it is, because you're creating something out of nothing. Even if it takes a team of 100 people, 2 years and $1 million to do it, you've still created a product, and that is art, in my opinion. So whatever. I don't know.
Well, bottom line, I mean, we're of the opinion generally that games are fun, and writing about games should be fun.
And reading about games.
Exactly. Well, by writing, I'm using that as a noun. But things that are written about games should
I definitely
be
think
fun.
there's room for like high-level discussion
me
about
too.
what a game means.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
But it's definitely as fringe as anything else is.
Yeah.
And also to assume that there's some sort of
Henry
unified
keeps taking
front.
deep breaths. I think he has something to say.
But I just want to say this: is to assume that there's some sort of unified front of games journalists that will all get together and say, "No, we don't want this anymore," is kind of naive.
Never really happens.
No.
A lot of film criticism isn't like 12-page long theses on films these
When
days.
you go to
Still not
college,
even
it
that way.
is, yes.
Well, yeah, no. One of my
college
favorites,
film classes are the fucking worst.
One of my favorite things in college was I read the Film Quarterly, which had seriously like 12-page things about one film, about just 12-page deconstructions of a film. And I really liked reading something that goes that deep into it. I did like
too.
Yeah, like if I could read a 12-page dissertation
But
on
what
Street
I
Fighter
didn't
4,
like
I would.
was being tested on it.
Yeah.
In college, because it was kind of like, I wrote this. Did you agree?
Yeah.
No, and here's why. And no matter how long or
Yeah.
well written it is,
Wrong.
Yeah. You weren't paying attention.
And then everyone else in the class is a bitter wannabe actor or director or producer.
The
and
example
they
I
just get upset.
use is we had a fucking week-long discussion curriculum based on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the paper that day. You see, he was like
Cosby?
No, he was just the Raiders of the Lost Ark is all about America's domination over the East. It all comes to fruition during the scene when Indy pulls his gun off of the proficient swordsman. And I said, motherfucker, I've studied film that came about because Harrison Ford was too riddled with dysentery to do his sword fight scenes, so they pulled a gun. Your theory is null and void.
That's a case of assigning meaning where there was no intention of it.
Exactly. Well, it's like they couldn't film that scene, and it's supporting your thesis. Like it's the main It's the main column of his thesis, and like no, he's like, well, sorry, wrong. It turns out you're wrong. Sorry. According to Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg, I'm right, but according to you, I'm wrong.
But you, Mr. Junior College
wrong,
history
wrong.
professor, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for Ask a Games journalist.
Yeah, but I mean, and the thing with any of that stuff is you can usually tell within the first 5 paragraphs if it's something you're going to be interested in reading anyway. And if the guy's just making a bunch of baseless assumptions and drawing meanings that are completely worthless, then fuck it.
Right.
Why bother?
Can I say that after everything you say?
No.
Please?
No.
I have a feeling it'll keep your attention way more if that sound effect is going off constantly.
Man.
What?
That's mean.
It's not mean.
It's tremendously mean.
It's not mean.
Yes.
That's all
Wiki
for
Pares.
Ask a Games journalist.
New question of the week. I had a question of the week suggestion in that Modern Warfare 2 is out this week, and I was just playing under Joe's profile, Joe McNeely, our video guy. He's a level 23. I'm a level 4. He is ranked 1,200,000th in the world.
Oh wow! He's
at a
moving
level
up.
23 on the second day of release. So
Jesus.
it leads me to believe there's a lot of people engaging in multiplayer right now.
It's too true.
And
Leads me to believe we're going to get the floor mopped with us on Friday.
Yeah.
On our 24-hour marathon happening right now. Unless
when we
it's
start
Sunday.
up on these gamer tags that have no experience or
Oh
anything.
god, that's gonna suck.
Oh yeah,
ass.
yeah. New gamer tags.
Hey everyone,
Hey everyone.
we're still here.
Question of the week. What's your fondest multiplayer memory?
Yes, off of all that Modern Warfare we just mentioned.
What number is this?
61.
61.
Question 61. Games
What's
that
your
are
fondest multiplayer memory?
memory.
And I mentioned a billion times I was really into Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
One,
Didn't you break up with a girlfriend over the phone while you were at a LAN party?
That isn't my fondest memory. But granted that she sucks now.
Okay, good.
Is okay. I'm okay with that. But we were MB2K, Mexican Bitch 2000.
Right.
We met
Spicules.
Spicules. I was Extreme Paisan, Captain Krizak, Jap Attack, and then we met. We started playing on a server with DPS, Dead Poet Society, Longfellow Keats, and shit. I cannot believe I'm at a loss for fucking poet names because there was a lot of them. But whatever. What's up?
Comics.
There, Lord Byron. We started playing them, and then like, oh fuck, you live in Tallahassee? Oh my god, we did too. And it was like a group, like 6 of us started hanging out with another 6.
Right.
And we're still friends. All of us are still friends to this day.
That's really cool.
All of us are still friends to this day.
And you all met through Counter-Strike.
We all met through Counter-Strike.
That's cool.
We all met through Counter-Strike.
I like that.
And my buddy, like, say with their faction, Trent, forget who he was, and my buddy Drew.
Right.
Drew died a couple of years ago. But one of my fondest memories is Counter-Strike on PC, WASD, mouse. We were all drinking, and we were all drinking this house, which was just a bunch of PCs and consoles everywhere. They all like Justin and Kier. You're being name dropped, motherfuckers. They might be listening. We're worked at EB, so there's games everywhere.
Right.
Trent grabs the WASD, and Drew grabs the mouse. So there's two people
on one machine.
The biggest kill streak I've ever seen in my entire life. They got so fucking far and did so well as two people on one machine. And, it's just them laughing. No, you couldn't even tell them, no, go over there. No, it turns out both of you are instinctually inclined to do the right thing for that person. Now you're focusing on one of those.
Right.
And so they just murdered for 40 minutes. And it's a Counter-Strike match. You're cheating, hacker. No, it's just two people.
Just two people who are
you can't cheat that motherfucker.
I just happen to be perfect at aiming, and I happen to be perfect at moving.
Mm-hmm.
Together, we are a Reese's cup.
That's mine. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Brett.
Choose a game.
I will choose. I have several.
Brett.
Choose a game.
Choose a game. Multiplayer, going back, 2-player games. The first one that, for some reason, I can't think of anything NES that I played to death with two people, but
Jackal, motherfucker.
Jackal.
A lot of Jackal memories.
I really didn't. I know you did.
My parents had to throw me and my friends a Jackal match with my Chris and Eric, two brothers, had to be thrown on the front lawn to go fight away from Jackal. They already pulled the Nintendo out of the entertainment center. Jackal rules.
The first one, I remember just spending untold hours with the first Super Mario Kart, with a friend from down the street, with anyone who came over. I remember, I think New Year's '92 or '93, that's all I did was friends playing Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, and just purposely trying to find ways to mess with the game. And I know that's a game known for Mario for multiplayer, but an obscene amount of time just driving around trying to find things to do in the multiplayer levels beyond just hitting each other. And then after that, there's a huge gap because I feel PlayStation and N64 there was next to no multiplayer for some reason.
Yeah, that's not true.
Aside from GoldenEye, which was fun a lot, but Doom for PC, friends would make levels and we'd play them for hours, just days and entire summers. I think wasted on custom Doom levels. And then most recently, Street Fighter 4, playing against random people online for weeks and months at a time. And then my biggest thing now, right now, definitely my fondest memories are Left 4 Dead, easily. Got the same 3 people. We play as often as we can, almost every weekend for the past year, and just tear that game apart and still find new things to do and new ways to have fun in it. And every time it's I can't recommend 4-player Left 4 Dead enough, and I know the second one's coming out next week.
Henry doesn't give a shit, but
Henry doesn't care. But it's truly unbelievable. It's a game that rewards you the more you play it. If you're playing it on normal 4-player, it's not the same experience at all as on advanced or even on expert. You just get so much more out of it the more you play. And just hearing people scream and yell and oh shit and help me, there's a boomer on me, there's a hunter on me. Everybody near the corner, everybody over here, everybody over here. It's constant terror and complete organized chaos, and it's absolutely amazing. And that's
just listen to the dev commentaries.
Yeah, and the developer commentary, obviously, in the single player game. And then in a much lesser sense, as stupid as it is, and I haven't played it at all this year, and it's November, so that says a lot. But the past couple of years, playing Rock Band in the office with everybody here was always a lot of fun because we had a room set up for it, and it was you just get really trashed and play Rock Band. It's consequence-free environment.
Henry, you're the singer. Brett, you're the drummer. Michael and I bicker over bass and guitar.
I usually take bass because it's much easier. I can play on expert.
You're a better Rock Band player than me.
I really miss doing that, but we just haven't done it at all this year.
No, because they came away with Beatles.
Do it again.
Lego Rock Band. You play the Passenger last week.
The songs aren't bad in Lego Rock Band.
They're really good, actually.
It's just I can't. You know what? If you guys do it, I'll.
You know what? They didn't send us one. Fuck
they
them.
Didn't send us one.
Fuck them. Send us one. We'll talk it. We'll talk it up. Praise. Buy me off, motherfuckers.
No, I got Band Hero for DS. That's what I got in the mail, and right to the pile it went.
Well, yeah, I'll
Hold
go
on,
next.
Henry.
Choose a game.
I'm not going to be able to use this again.
Well, so Chris's story of reminding you of like Friends is what I remember about it, because it was with GoldenEye. It was funny that like it came out like about my second year of junior high, and I had a group of friends who we were friends in elementary school, and then we just kind of did this thing. I don't know if you guys experienced the same thing, but when you first started junior high, you think, should I still be friends with my elementary school friends? And you kind of like drift apart some. But then when one of the old group had GoldenEye, and like me, I owned an N64, but not GoldenEye. And then I just ran into them at school, and they were like, GoldenEye's so cool. And then they came over after school, and we just played it for hours. And it was just really cool. It brought like us back together as friends, and it was usually like just multiplayer games in general, like of friends coming over most often to my house to play games. Like when the new system would come out, we'd like stay up all night playing Smash Brothers. Well, Melee, that wasn't exactly when it came out, or Super Monkey Ball or Soul Calibur. Like we would just stay up all night playing these games together, and it was just this
joyous.
This thing, and it's something I really miss. I think it's why I don't do online games all that much, because it's just not the same. Even when playing with friends over Xbox Live, it just never feels the same to me.
I told the story. I developed friends on Tetris Worlds, and they convinced me and my girlfriend to have sex on mic.
Yeah.
And we did. And we were celebrated.
And you're not together anymore.
Yeah, but I could still have sex with her tomorrow if I wanted to.
I'm sure. I know someone who will appreciate that.
Brag-worthy.
Yeah. Oh, she listens. Shit.
You may want to edit that
You're
out.
in trouble.
Oh, in the doghouse. Oh.
Henry,
He's just saying he could cash that chip if he wanted. It doesn't mean he does.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna when I go.
Just,
I'm not gonna.
Just that I could at any time, and she'd never know.
I guess GoldenEye is my one big one.
I did also want to mention
it was the dorms, the old GoldenEye. These fucking assholes I was playing with. Like I got it. I'm really good at GoldenEye. Get in the dorms. These assholes had memorized the spawn formation, like where you'd spawn. They knew every time, so they'd kill you and would run to where you would spawn. Fucking assholes.
That's when you punch them in real life.
Well, that's when I should have flown across the ocean and punched rare. Like you shouldn't have done that in order. Like
right,
shouldn't be predictable.
Michael, it does remind me we used to have annual Mario Kart 64 invitationals at a friend's house. He would grill and set up, and we'd have a party and prizes and all this shit from Mario Kart 64. So that was a big thing.
I'm actually,
Michael.
I'm actually kind of glad I'm going last, just because all this talk has kind of like awakened sectors of my brain that I'd kind of forgotten about. I've actually got a lot of really good memories. High school, just playing Street Fighter against friends and repeatedly catching one friend over and over again with the same Ryu, jumping roundhouse, low roundhouse, constantly.
I didn't think about fighting games. That was the angriest I ever saw, my friend.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes.
The endurance mode, which was fucking awesome, and you'd always feel tired after you ran a match because it was like every time you lost a match, your fighter would literally just explode, and the you'd chosen 5, and the next one would just hop in and you'd continue, and it was so fucking badass.
Johnny Cage.
I think
punched himself in the nuts.
Fourth string.
I might have told the story of the total crybaby at my college game night.
Do it.
Which was I'm pretty sure I told this ages ago, but there's this guy who was like in my college, like the first year I was there, we'd have a game night once a week, and everybody would get together, and there'd be a PlayStation, there'd be like a small crowd of people who'd take turns on it, and this guy was just a complete fucking asshole. In every fighting game he'd play, he'd like pick the same character, do the same cheesy throws over and over again, and people would start yelling at him, and he'd be like, oh hey, if he can't defend against it, it's not my problem. And so we played Mortal Kombat Trilogy one night. At the time I always sucked at 3D fighting games, but I kicked ass at 2D ones, and I just relentlessly beat his ass over and over and over
With
again.
who?
with several people. I think Raiden was one. Raiden,
Cyrax. I don't want to get kicked in my ass.
No,
That's
I don't-
3.
It's just
Oh,
like
it's trilogy.
It was
right,
like how many years ago now? Like 13 years. I don't know.
97 for trilogy.
You know your guy. You know your
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
You have a stable of Raparis characters.
I played a lot of Mortal Kombat at the time.
Mhm.
I was good with several characters.
know
Probably
what you
Johnny
could've-
Cage was one. Probably Liu Kang. I probably got him over and over again with the stupid flying kick.
Peter did the movie of the week.
Huh?
That's his flying kick.
The movie of the week. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was badass. I remember in the PS1 version, you could pick Raiden and transform into the Mortal Kombat 1 version of Raiden,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of fun. But yeah, he got so worked up that he actually like spiked his controller on the floor, and he's like, "Ugh!" And like everybody's like, "What the hell, dude?" And I said, "Are you playing just to win, or are you playing because it's fun?" He's like, "Winning is fun.
Winning is everything.
Yeah, he was
Fire
like on
bad.
the verge of tears because I was kicking his ass. This guy who was the biggest fucking cheating asshole. And that's kind of a fond memory for
Well,
me.
to be fair,
It
there's
is.
no cheating in Street Fighter.
Yeah. Well, cheesy, okay?
Cheesy. Sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically
You know what the best,
Soul Edge.
the most dickish thing you can do in Mortal Kombat? In Mortal Kombat 2, I would play as Shang Tsung, and I learned every move with
Multiple saying.
I learned every move with every character, and as Shang Tsung, I know it's Shang Tsung. There's a long story behind that.
I know.
Yeah, Shang Tsung. I would just morph into whoever was playing me and beat them as them.
Whoever he
and
wants.
whoever. Like,
Oh, your mind games.
every move with every character. Like Mortal Kombat 2 was like I'm probably horribly rusty at this point, but at the time it was like, who are you gonna be? I know every move with them as well, and I'd just go through the list, and morph every single person.
Yeah.
Such a dick move.
Used to do that every once in a while too, and now
Really
I
fun.
don't think I can remember a single transformation.
Yeah, some of them I
Thing.
can, but
Well, the amount
yeah.
of them, you'd probably have to hit one randomly.
Yeah, I also
I remember.
skipped actual kung fu classes once to play Power Stone with my friends.
wow.
Which is the only way Power Stone was meant to be played.
So,
There's no online version.
enter somebody saying, "Why are you playing a video game about that when you could do it in real life?"
Yeah. Well, I
because-
can't hit you with a rock fist.
Yeah.
I could. and go
'Cause I can't
jail.
fight you on a giant tank flying through the fucking stratosphere.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt you guys. Modern Warfare 2, we are playing
Right.
on Friday, 24 hours.
From 2 p.m. Pacific
Modern
to 2
Warfare 2.
a.m. Pacific, and maybe
And then
longer.
the Brits
Probably
take
go a little
over.
longer.
Maybe
But
longer.
but yeah, play with our British sides, the Davids, the Georges,
and
The
Justins.
Matt
Justins.
Cundys.
the Maddies, the Maddie C's,
The Matt Cundys would be an excellent band name.
The Matt
the Matt Cundys.
They'll be on. They're going to take up right when we, maybe stop at 2 a.m. That's 10 a.m. UK time. They're going to pick up, and then 12 more hours, 24 total.
All right, what are we at here? Brett, you get to pick an ending song.
Metroid 2.
Brett Elston, what do you want to go? What do you want to go out on this week?
While researching, honestly enough, this top 7 this week, I came across. I had to watch the ending, and it may be embedded in the top 7. The ending to Metroid 2. That music,
really good.
It makes me so happy and fills me with such glee that I really feel like everything is going to be okay.
All right, teases. We got to go in teases.
I'm
Everything
working
will
on
be
the
okay.
Left 4 Dead 2 review. Goes up on Tuesday, and then
I'm working on getting better at Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
I'm working on some reviews and a feature about a certain Italian plumber, but not maybe the one you're thinking of.
Oh.
I'm working on the Assassin's Creed 2 review and a guide to follow.
Oh, I'm also killing my ass working on a Mario guide for all the star coins. So
Are you kidding? Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
All right.
I really don't know.
You can see them at all times.
You can see. You're right.
You wasted all this time.
I've wasted enough. I might as well waste some more.
Great.
Remember, kid.
If you should ever need a ride, just stick out your phone.
God, this is dumb. Why am I doing this?
Yay!
was no message. This is a message.